And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Okay. That was my first attempt at making any sort of intro, and I know I need a lot of work for that, but
Hey, I feel like it went pretty good.
I need
Yeah.
to
Great.
do a little bit of work on updating it and make it a little bit less flat, I guess you could say.
A lot better than I could do.
Well, that's not saying much.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa, we are
Wow.
just starting and we're throwing
Already hitting
heat
so hard.
already. Okay. All right, so that's the kind of stream it's going to be.
Yes, it's going to be the Roast Mando stream. All right. Well, welcome to the 9th episode of this glorious mess that I call animated. And today I have my racist younger brother and my 2 real life friends.
Hello, hello.
Not actually racist, but there's some lore behind that.
War.
Yes, there is lore behind it. Mostly just the fact that you're blonde with blue eyes and, you know, kind of fit the
I wish
description.
I had a webcam. I would hunt.
But don't we enjoy the SS at Christmas? Like, it's so awesome. The Secret Santas.
Okay. Fuck, man. We're starting this off on a. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have made the racist brother joke.
Sorry, I kind of invited one.
Okay. So, how about? Now I can't really say y'all introduce yourself because you don't really do anything on the internet like I do.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
So, I was, like I said to you guys, I was going to pull up some really, really cursed Twitter stuff, but that's not happening this week after I vetted some of that stuff. It got like,
Look, if it got worse than what you showed me,
Yeah.
it got worse.
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
context for what's going on, but
Be glad
I'm
that you have no
Yeah,
context.
I'm gonna.
Be glad that you have no
Appreciate that.
context. Yeah.
Did your brain just stop working? Yeah.
Isaac, can I
works
just say
slower than
really
even
quick?
mine.
Can I just
Yeah.
say really quick because I watched your intro and I know it has some of your like favorite animations, etc. And I was just scrolling Twitter and I came across this post that says Mark Hamill says he's done playing the Joker and he won't voice the role unless it's opposite Kevin Conroy's Batman. Kind of interesting.
That is interesting. I do really like Mark Hamill's Joker. I think he's probably one of the he's voiced one of the better renditions of the Joker, if you ask me. Because
Yeah, it's one of the few things I enjoy from Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
there is absolutely no issues with the Batman the animated series. It's just great. And now that Kevin Conroy's gone, I guess I don't know. I still don't see a reason why you would want to not voice the Joker anymore unless it was just you're tired of it or there was attached you had a good friendship with Kevin Conroy and you just want to leave that era as this pristine image.
Sure, yeah.
I could see that, but when it comes to just straight up I'm not going to play it anymore because I don't feel like it. Well, I guess I can understand that too, actually. So,
Sure.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Sorry I hijacked your show. I just wanted to throw that out there. What's the plan for today? What do we got going?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have a list of some of the strangest things that I have ever read. So I kind of want to make that the first topic for tonight. Was what is the strangest premise for a show, for an anime or a manga that you guys have ever experienced as far as What is the strangest fiction you've ever delved into?
The strangest. I could throw out some opinions that immediately start fights right now. So I don't know
Do
if
it.
I want to go with
Go
that
ahead.
because
Do it.
I already know how you
Do
guys
it.
feel about this, and I'm the odd one out.
Do it.
I think most isekai are extremely
Come on.
crazy, strange, etc.
Okay.
I
no,
actually will give that to
Yeah.
you, because there are a lot of like really really weird isekais, like reincarnated as a vending machine.
Even the like mainstream ones though are like a little, I don't know, edgy, if that's the right word. I don't know, maybe that's not the right
Yeah.
word. But like,
I don't know if edgy is the correct word for it. I think
edgy? No, etchy. Yes.
etchy. I can actually see that, yeah. But I don't necessarily think that it being strange makes it bad fiction, but yeah, isekai as a genre is a very strange one because you get stuff that's like you get the stuff like Overlord, Shield Hero, Jobless Reincarnation kind of stuff, the kinds of things I actually like that I think are pretty good stories.
Shield Hero is great. That's a good one.
Season 3 actually looks like it's a lot better than season 2.
maybe
Yeah.
I'll give it another shot.
Um
I did enjoy Overlord quite a bit, or so far.
yeah, Overlord seems to be the isekai that people who don't like isekai enjoy.
Checks out.
Like it's not uncommon for people to say I hate isekai, but Overlord's all right. It's like the Mr. Krabs meme. Like everyone out except for you. You could stay.
All right. All of you go. Except for you. You can stay.
I don't know why you sound so Russian.
Mr. Krabs is Russian.
So what about you guys? Mando, Twinkie.
I personally, my brother does a lot more of the like reading manga and anime stuff. But the only like self experience I've ever had was really with like Dragon Ball and Ruby. So Ruby would probably be the weirdest fiction concept that I've ever had. Not so much pleasure anymore of entertaining myself with. It's like my guilty pleasure anime, honestly.
See, Ruby isn't even all that weird though. Like it's almost just like stereotypical anime with a little bit of difference as far as like how they're using tropes. Because I mean, you got
Yeah.
all the magic stuff, you got a magic school. I mean, it kind of suffered from the over feminization of fiction to a certain point. Like once you get to season 3, it goes from a shonen series to a shoujo series. Yeah, that's where it all goes downhill.
Well, I believe
All right.
I think that's when Monty died, though. It was right around that time.
Whoa! Spoilers, dude! I've never seen this before.
Monty's the creator. All right,
I never
Mando.
will. Oh.
Mando, what do you got?
For the strangest, I really don't know what I would pick.
I don't know if
I'm
I
still-
want to know the answer to this.
I was gonna say.
I don't really have an answer. One, I'm still terrible with names of which anime was which. But I'm relatively new to anime still, so it's
don't
all
think-
just like the same thing with different stories.
Did you say it had to be anime, or did you just say like a word?
I just
Like,
fiction
just
in
a-
yeah,
general.
fiction. In
What is the
general, yeah.
weirdest story as far as fiction goes that you have ever gotten into or just given a try?
The weirdest fiction.
Can you guys hear that? The gears are turning in his head.
I'm surprised there's no smoke on camera.
No, it's all muffled inside your headset. It would be pouring out your ears otherwise.
You have to blow the dust off the cogs first.
Weirdest. I don't know. I've always loved every type.
High School DxD.
Okay, I only watched 2 episodes of that, and I'm not going to anymore. There was a bunch of pepperoni on
But you
that.
watched a second episode.
I did.
He didn't
I'm
quite
only
have
gonna
en- he
try
didn't
it
have, he
once.
didn't quite have enough material yet.
I wanted to see not enough pepperoni. I wanted to see if there's any story into it that I cared about by going into the second episode, and there just wasn't. So
What do you mean? All the females have really great personality.
No, and
that's all
like,
fake, though. They know how to fake it.
as far as like weird fiction goes, it's kind of become something I like really enjoy. I'll find something with a really like bizarre premise. And I'll give it a shot because more often than not, I've been kind of impressed by the ones that are just way out there. Like, let me just pull up my list here and I will try and briefly summarize these because I looked at the synopsises for a lot of them and they really sugarcoat how weird the stories actually get. Let's start with this one. So basically, there's a story out there in anime and manga that the premise is the main character can suddenly turn into like a living fursuit. And he doesn't know where he gets the power from. It's just something that randomly happens. And all of a sudden, he finds himself kind of wrapped up in this big mystery involving monsters and aliens. And there's this chick who like is constantly making these like unintentional innuendos about being inside of him, and this was one of the rare exceptions where it was not actually a good show. There was one moment in this, and it's called Gleipnir, if you ever want to look it up. Not a lot of people actually liked it, where it had like a really like effective sort of like plot twist to it. But overall, it was just kind of like it just wanted to be too weird for its own good on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Or how about one about like how to phrase this in the most effective way possible? Basically, you have two characters. One believes in ghosts but not in aliens, and the other believes in aliens but not in ghosts. So they make a bet with each other and they send each other to hotspots. And the guy who believes in aliens gets possessed by a ghost, and the chick who believes in ghosts gets abducted by aliens. And it turns into this like long shonen battler about this guy who's been cursed trying to get his testicles back.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Interesting.
That would be a pretty funny
That kinda
Doctor
came out of
Who
left
story.
Yes, it does come out.
That went from like 0. That went from like about like a 3 to like 45 pretty quickly.
Yes. Well, this is another one that I've read. It's called Dandadan. It's a manga. And actually, as far as like a shonen battle series, the artwork is great. The story is kind of there. I would give it like a 7 for a story. The artwork's like a 9. And the concept is just kind of my level of out there. The only issue with it is there's a lot of dirty jokes in there because of the premise, obviously. Which, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I actually don't mind, Cooper. I know you do. I know you prefer not to dabble in that kind of stuff, but when it comes to inappropriate humor, I don't mind. I don't mind a few dick jokes.
It's my level of expertise.
Lane, you look like you've seen a ghost.
I've
you
seen
looking for
it.
your, yeah, like with how bright your face is. Are you looking for your missing testicles right now, or?
Well, I did sell one, but yes, yeah. See if I can buy it back. I don't.
Is that how you got your gaming PC?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm never selling that back to you, by the way.
Why'd you have to kill him? We're live, bro. Come on.
Why did you have to out him like that?
Why?
Get him and then the final one I'm gonna bring up on like the sort of like acceptable level of weird. Actually, no, there's 2 more here. So there's one, and this is where like it kind of like the weird fiction kind of starts to go off the deep end. This is another story that I actually thought was entertaining and good. Another anime that if you're a fan of like less shonen battle-y kind of stuff, it might be interesting to you. But the premise is basically this doctor ends up getting murdered and reincarnates as his celebrity crush's son with all his memories and stuff. And then it gets even weirder as he gets wrapped up in this whole like murder mystery aspect to it, where he's trying to figure out like this kind of whodunit mystery. And that's Oshinoko, one of the more popular anime that came out earlier this year. One of the ones that was on High Dive exclusively before they shut down because of piracy. And then, of course, there's like the weird fiction, kind of like Chain Soldier, where basically you have a guy who is he gets superpowers, but only from by interacting with a certain person. You know what? I'm actually just going to leave that one there because that opens up a whole can of worms I don't even want to touch.
Was that the one with the dog with the chainsaw?
No,
That's Chainsaw Man.
Oh.
Not quite.
No, but there is a level of like interesting weird, and I think Oshinoko, Chain Soldier, Gleipnir, and Dandadan kind of fall into that level of bizarre where you can kind of tolerate it. And then there's just like the why would you ever touch this level of bizarre that is like the shit tier isekais, like reincarnated as a sword or reincarnated as a vending machine.
Yeah, that one wasn't so good. I have not watched the pig one yet, though. That might be interesting.
Yeah, so like when I talk about bizarre fiction, I mean like stuff that's kind of outside of the normal like wheelhouse of any genre. So Dandadan kind of fits that because it's both ghosts and aliens, and you're kind of dealing with like a really weird plot mechanic in the fact that this guy's trying to get his dick back from a ghost. It still feels weird to say that.
Would Black Clover be considered weird?
Not really.
No, that's actually way
That's-
more stereotypical.
I was gonna say that's pretty
fantasy.
standard.
That was my first anime. That was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Soul Eater was your first anime.
No, I think you guys got me into the Black Clover. Or, well, you guys got me on Crunchy. And I saw the Black Clover and I watched that. But Soul Eater, I watched before season 2 of Black Clover.
I don't keep track of seasons when it comes to like the big, like prominent shonen titles because most of them don't do it by seasons. They just release episodes until they hit the end. It's kind of hard to keep track of seasons when you have episode 325 at that point. Jujutsu Kaisen's kind of the like one of the exceptions to that, and My Hero Academia actually. They do it by seasons, which I think that's a result of like the weekly model, where like they release an episode every week, and seeing the industry sort of move away from that is interesting because I think it leads to a lot of better anime. Like you don't get as much filler. Like what's the biggest problems with Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece?
Right. All the filler.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All
Especially
the
One Piece.
all the stuff that you have to like skip over because it's really not all that interesting. Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, Chainsaw Man, they generally don't have that kind of problem. They condense things down in a way that actually makes it more interesting to people.
Wouldn't say Demon Slayer has any filler either.
No, it doesn't.
So there's
That was a
another
good
one.
one.
There's another one.
Yeah, that's true. And that brings up like the argument, like you'll see like fans of like hold on a second. Weekly model is better than the binge. Well, it depends on if you are dealing with regular releases, like you don't do seasons. The kind of weekly model I'm talking about is they literally release an episode every single week. And eventually they catch up to their source material and they have to do a filler arc in order to let the source material run. And at that point, well, you get stuff like, you know, Naruto's whole like what was the arc in the middle of the Fourth Great Shinobi War where like he like awakens the Nine Tails by accident, goes on a rampage, and there's all this stuff with Kabuto and all of that. Yeah, that the fat guy rolling around trying to protect some orphan kids.
Yeah, no,
So-
I remember that. Like I pointed that out to you, right? Didn't I? It was like one of those arcs. It was literally like before he ever like actually reached that point.
Hold on, we have a guy in here who hasn't finished Naruto. He's only up to the Three
really?
Tails arc, so careful what you say. No spoilers.
Right.
If we
Yeah.
were in a chat with a bunch of people who had actually finished Naruto and weren't absolute losers, we
Hey.
would have no problem giving spoilers. But
At least I'm watching the whole thing in Japanese with subtitles.
No wonder you can't understand any of it.
Wow, dude.
But it sounds it's more authentic.
That's
like,
Can you
despicable.
Can you
You
even
should-
read that fast?
Yeah, you should be more like me and Krim.
can't
who
read.
learn Japanese and then watch the original.
yeah, fair enough.
yeah, I guess that's another thing we could talk about if we really wanted to. The whole dub versus sub thing.
I'm gonna get hated out for this.
Hey, better you than me.
Oof.
No, that was one of the things I always like was gonna do like a video essay on, was the dub versus sub stuff. I think after watching Frieren in both sub and dub, like I can understand where the sub people are coming from, because like generally speaking, I think as a whole, if you consider the voice acting industry for subs and dubs generally don't have that great of voice acting by comparison. There are some that are amazing, like I think Konosuba and Love is War actually have incredible dubs. But when you get to like a lot of like the like big name shonens and you get to like dubbed Naruto, I don't think it has the same voice acting quality as the Japanese version does.
So that's what I never understood about the dub versus sub anime. I'm strictly dub. Hate on me for it. Just only watch dubs. But I've never understood the desire to hate on other people trying to enjoy entertainment in the way that they see fit for themselves. Like if you want to make an argument about one way being better than the other, that's fine. But like it's become like a cultural thing where people discuss it and it's like, oh, you watch the dub? I'm gonna drive this sword through your heart because
Yeah.
that's messed up.
I see it settling down a lot now, but one of the issues with that I've discovered as I've looked into it is the localization issues. So basically you have people who will like completely alter certain scenes just because they feel a need to do so politically. Now, this is the anime. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here who's watched it, but there's a scene out of one called Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid that you have a joke about a character who, like, this character makes a joke about having to put on clothes in the Japanese version, and it's basically like you can only go so far before public indecency laws really become a pain in the ass, was the original joke. And then you get to the English version and it turns into a whole like spiel about, the patriarchy oppressing women. That's one of the issues on top of the voice acting quality that people harp on when it comes to dubs. Is this isn't like the first time something like that has happened. I mean, Ghost Stories is a good example of what happens when you just let someone run with a dub and don't put any checks on them. But that was because that anime flopped, and at that point, the distributors didn't care. And they're like, so long as you keep the plot somewhat the same, you can say whatever the hell you want. And they started making jokes about George Bush.
Hey,
They literally
Ray,
made it the most racist, like bigoted anime they possibly could in the English version. It
And it's
became a
become
cult
and
classic
it's-
for that.
I was gonna say it became a legend in the dub community because of it.
Did you guys answer Gray's question? He was
What, y'all
asking.
learn Japanese to watch anime?
Krim did. None of us did.
It's not
No,
like I
no.
know that much Japanese. And it's not even just to watch anime. Like, as far as writing projects go, there was something I was working on that required me to actually understand like a few foreign languages a little bit better. So I started looking into it, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Might as well just learn a foreign language because I can. I can do it in my free time, an hour before I go to bed on my phone. Why not?
Ishin Shirinjiru Okinawate. That's all I know. And that's
No,
just
from
the
me, it was
dojo.
strictly sarcasm. I know no Japanese.
Anime ga suki desu. Anyway,
I am too dumb to try and learn a second language.
So, quick question.
I know I'd F it up.
Is there any mainstream anime where the English voice actors, the dubbed voice actors, perform much better than the Japanese that are notable?
actually, there is a example of that where, well, Ghost Stories being one of the like kind of examples, because Ghost Stories actually gained more popularity for its dub because of how unhinged it was. But Cowboy Bebop, actually,
Oh, really?
people, even the Japanese like the dubbed version of Cowboy Bebop more than the sub version.
Wow.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And because it was largely a success, more so in the United States than in Japan, they ended up making a movie for it. So it's actually a fun movie.
Okay. Yeah, I just think it's interesting because I know as someone who's only watched dubbed, there are certain roles that I couldn't imagine someone else voice acting because I really enjoy the dubbed character. I think
Mhm,
Madara
mhm.
being one of them. I really enjoy the English voice actor for Madara.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't watch sub
Which one was
Naruto
that?
because not just that, but Kakashi and Might Guy too.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine any other voices for Kakashi and Might Guy after watching.
All right, Kakashi. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Oh my gosh, I just made the realization Lane is missing out on dubbed Madara. I mean, I'm sure the Japanese version is great. Probably does a fantastic job, but
What is this show?
that's
This is
Naruto.
Naruto.
Oh, okay. I'm still terrible with names.
No, that's all right.
No, you're just brain damaged. You can't remember shit.
Okay, next topic.
Wear a helmet
can-
when you fall off of a truck.
Yeah. So we can move on to something that's probably a little bit more in your guys' wheelhouse, and that is the Clone Wars stuff.
Never heard of
Because Dave Filoni has
it. Continue.
I didn't hear what he said.
I said never heard of it.
Because there's the Clone Wars stuff with Dave Filoni basically being promoted to, I think it's Chief Executive Creative for Lucasfilm at this point, like directly under Kathleen Kennedy. So like he has control of all Star Wars. And now there are two factions basically to the fan base, and you have the people who love Clone Wars, who are like us, the kind of people who like grew up watching every episode every week of Clone Wars. And then you have the people who are maybe a little bit older than us, who got into the extended universe and were pissed that there was so much quote unquote so much stuff that was destructive to the universe. I've seen a lot of people argue both sides. So I guess the first question is, do you guys think it's possible to have a series like Clone Wars that may not pay as much respect to the lore or make certain deviations and still have it be like an important part of the fan base, I guess you could say? Or is it one of those projects that needs to be excluded at all costs because it's a disgrace to the lore?
No, certainly not. I think that expanding universe is great, even with just the little bit that I've dabbled in it. But like, let it be what it is, and let Clone Wars be what it is. Like, you can enjoy both. They don't have to compete with each other.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
You see,
that's a good point. What do you got, Twinkie?
I think he's entirely wrong. and I have no basis for my opinion.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Mando, you got anything to say on this one?
I mean, it'd be really cool to see so much more of the universe, honestly, than just like I mean, that timeline or the Skywalker family. Like any series in that animated fashion would be really awesome to see, in my opinion. Honestly, I'd love a whole thing about Mandalorians a whole lot better than what Disney did.
So I guess the next question is then, what do you guys think of Dave Filoni as a creative? Like his works so far with the Mandoverse, with Clone Wars. I think he also had a hand in like Rebels. I can't confirm though. I never watched
I mean-
Rebels. I didn't care for it.
From what I've heard, the Mandalorian show basically turned into the Womandalorian show. So
Yeah, I would say that overall, he's definitely done a lot of good. I'm not like his biggest fan. I don't think that he's this amazing person who's going to fix all of Star Wars. But I was actually thinking about this the other day, and the fact that when Disney took over Star Wars, it was kind of like bittersweet because it's like, okay, Disney is now control of Star Wars and they're gonna add all of this nonsense that we don't need to get into right now, and that's kind of sad. But it was sweet because Star Wars, as far as the big screen goes, as far as animations and movies, it was essentially dead. Like there was just random video games, lots of writing going on with the EU, but like there wasn't any of that mainstream. It wasn't going to cinemas, etc. And so we got to see a revival of Star Wars in that sense, and that was really exciting. And some of the newer stuff, not really a big fan of, but the Clone Wars specifically, like the more I think about it, added so much that is really enjoyable and really memorable. It got to flush out characters like Count Dooku. We got to create new characters like Captain Rex and Cad Bane, which are like fan favorites. Like people love those characters. I love those characters. So I think there's definitely a lot of positive that went on.
Mando, you're just gonna sit there and nod?
No, no, I'm with you on that. I was just thinking though, what do you guys think about the Bad Batch?
I never watched it. And one of my issues with a lot of the Star Wars animations, especially going forward, is Mappa and Madhouse, UFO Table, their animation style is like cocaine to me. I'm addicted to how good they do it.
Yeah.
In going to something like Star Wars The Clone Wars, and I don't mean to gripe on it for all the effort that goes into it, but I'm looking at the animation, and a lot of like the fight scenes don't have the same kind of like fluidity to them that stuff like Demon Slayer Season 2 has, or like that whole big fight between in Freerin recently between Stark and Fern and Lenny and Lugner. That's the kind of animation when it comes to stuff I like to see. Now, if you had a Star Wars show that was animated like that, like if they did Clone Wars in some sort of like style like that, probably would be my absolute favorite cartoon of all time or animated project of all time. That's one of the reasons, though, that I haven't touched a lot of the later stuff with their animated projects, is because it's done in that 3D Clone Wars style. And it was okay when I was a kid and I didn't really pay much attention to it. But now that I've gotten really into this stuff, I feel like it feels like watching Berserk 2016. It's painful sometimes.
Yeah, 2 points here.
We don't talk about.
So Lane, to your point about Bad Batch, I think that Clone Wars did something really well in the sense that it catered to an audience of children and an adult audience very, very well. It like walked that line extremely well.
5 o'clock Wednesday every week.
Whereas
I was addicted.
Bad Batch and Rebels are just a little bit too heavy on the kid side. Like they lost my interest. So I tried Bad Batch, not interested in it. And then Isaac, what you're talking about, I totally agree with that. And something that we could discuss, which I think would be interesting, is if did any of you guys watch all of the Star Wars Visions they put out in some of those animation styles that more favored like the Japanese animation?
I saw clips and I thought they looked good,
Mhm.
but by that time I had kind of like divorced myself from Star Wars. That would have been like post episode 9 when like my denial just sort of like broke. I was like, yeah, those movies actually were kind of bad, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And like at that point I was really like disillusioned with the state of Star Wars and what Disney had done to it.
Yeah.
And that's a
All right.
whole can of worms that I could get into, like as far as like that goes. But as far as Vision goes, I heard the concept, and at least the Star Wars shills that I know say it would be something I would like. But I still haven't touched it because I have a hard time getting into Star Wars, knowing that everything they do is just solidifying the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, it would be worth giving them a watch because they are like passion projects from different studios. So every single episode is a unique art style and a unique story. And so you don't necessarily need to delve into these different stories that are going to be Disney-esque. You just get a little taste of a bunch of different things. So it's worth watching. I would definitely
All right.
reconsider.
Especially the ones with the Count Dooku's background. That was pretty cool to watch those.
Okay. Okay.
I can't remember now. I think that was Tales of the Jedi. I think.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, Tales of the Jedi. I did not watch the Visions.
But Ian, you looked like you were about to say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say to episode 8 and 9, they were shit.
Yeah.
Episode 7 up until the ending was all right. Like you had a nice build up. You set Captain Phasma up as like a proper female villain, and then you get into episode 8. Like I said, episode 8 and 9, absolute shit. Episode 9 is a complete disgrace to the entirety of Star Wars. And this is coming from the guy who's not even that big of a Star Wars fan.
Fake fan.
Yeah, no, it was definitely brutal. If you want to go on that rant, all I'll say is that a lot of people harp on episode 7 because it was just a complete rehash of the original Star Wars. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because there had been such a long gap without any Star Wars in the major cinema. So I thought it was like a perfect way to reintroduce Star Wars
usher
to
it
the
in.
to the mainstream and kind of like harken back to all that nostalgia. And then having all of that in that first episode is totally fine as long as you move away from it in the next 2 episodes, which they did move away from it.
I was
going
gonna
to
say they did just in the wrong direction.
Another issue is like you said, they moved in the wrong direction when it came to Star Wars. And then on top of that, their main character underwent no character development.
Yeah.
Rey stayed effectively the same.
Rey
and
was a
then
static character.
they also decided to like not treat their side characters or their supporting characters well. Like they humiliated Luke as far as a character goes. And I think that was one of their biggest mistakes. But one thing that I personally took beef with more was they destroyed 2 characters who could have been really, really good, and that was Poe Dameron and Finn.
Yeah,
like you had a really good set of characters there.
And Snoke.
Yeah, well, I'm particularly talking about their supporting like protagonist cast here, because Poe Dameron was that kind of like witty, fun, sort of like Han Solo-ish character that you could have had there. And Finn was a character who really needed like a hero arc to be complete. Like if he would have been allowed to sacrifice himself to save the Resistance in episode 8, he probably would have been one of like my favorite characters in all of Star Wars.
But they put a chick in it.
But they put a chick in it and they made a gay name.
If it wasn't for the politics, it would have been an okay set.
I disagree. The whole movie was in shambles at that point. But one of I think the overarching issue, and I actually put up a video essay on this called the Boruto effect. And it was basically like my thoughts on why a lot of these sequels have failed. And it's because with Star Wars Episode 7, they started something not just episode 7 because they don't really mention it. Episode 8 is where it actually comes in. They go back to a story that had already reached its narrative conclusion. The Palpatine stuff.
Yeah.
They tried to graft another Palpatine story onto Star Wars and it didn't work.
Somehow, Palpatine returned.
Mm-hmm. So
you could
yeah.
tell how desperate they were to try and end that trilogy when you have that line. Somehow, no explanation. Just
Mhm.
dark side Sith magic. Palpatine survived the literal Death Star exploding.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they tried to like retcon it through the Mandoverse to like justify everything, which is just
So yeah, what I've heard actually is you know how Star Wars and Fortnite did that crossover event?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So apparently, in order to understand how Palpatine survived, it was only ever explained in Fortnite through an event.
What?
What?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I
That's
would have to
crazy.
I would have to get Roland in here to talk about it because he knows more about that than I do. But every time we bring up Star Wars, he always says something about that, like how awful of a decision that was, and I would agree. Because I believe it was probably something they did like afterwards, like as an afterthought, because they realized just how insane what they were doing was.
Jeez.
But yeah, moving back towards the Clone Wars, the animated stuff, I think you touched on a really good point that kind of applies to a lot of Western cartoons now. Clone Wars rode a very fine line between adult and kids entertainment to the point where it actually entertained both audiences. And that was one of the things that makes Batman the Animated Series one of the greatest cartoons of all time. And
Another one.
Atla as one of the greatest cartoons of all time.
Yeah.
I got
Because
another one for you.
yeah,
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack kind of ended on a bad note though. It's
Ah,
not as
fair point.
popular. I like Samurai Jack, but particularly with Atla and Batman, the whole reason is like you can watch them as a kid and enjoy them. You can watch them as an adult and appreciate them. Just because like the storytelling they're doing, it tells a very like mature story at the same time in a childish way.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things a lot of cartoons nowadays have lost is that element of maturity mixed in with the childish entertainment.
Yeah, right. For sure. I could talk about Atla forever. This is so good. Makes me so nervous.
What do you think about the live action?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring up. I mean, there's not much to think at this point, and the trailer looks pretty good.
I actually haven't seen the trailer, so
I'm just gonna have medium expectations and see how it goes.
I think that's a pretty based take to have.
I'm the one thing I will say is I'm worried that they are going to like neuter the comedy because there was so much like between Sokka and Aang, like or their whole group really, even with Toph, like there's so many just like quips and like laughs and
Toph
comedy.
was the comedy.
Yeah, it made it so good, and I'm worried that like because everything is live action now, it's going to be very serious, very focused, and that will take away from it if they do that.
Yeah.
If they go that route, so we'll see.
Yeah, you think they're going to make it a little bit more edgy?
We'll find out. Yeah.
One of the things, like as far as my concern about Netflix doing an adaptation of the Last Airbender, my biggest concern was that the creators walked away from it. Now, I will put the caveat on that: the creators made Korra, which not a whole lot of fans were a fan of. It was not as popular as Atla. I haven't watched it. I will refrain from making any opinions or comments on the actual quality of it. I just know that a lot of fans weren't happy with Korra.
Yeah. So I have seen Korra, and it doesn't even stand close to the original Atla. However, there is moments in it and some character development which is enjoyable. I don't think it's a completely throwaway thing, but I do understand and can agree with the general sentiment.
Those who
So
made Korra definitely did not find the secret tunnel. Like, it's not as great.
I appreciate the attempt at a joke.
Okay, thanks.
Two lovers.
Oh, God.
I'm
You
sorry,
will
I'm
be
sorry.
instantly
I'll stop.
removed.
I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll be.
I now have my mouse hovering over the remove button for you. Just by the way. At a moment's notice, I can boot you from here. Also, hello, Vinzinger. Nice to see you.
Weed pillar.
Yeah. The other concern I have for Atla live action is that it's Netflix doing this, okay? And Netflix has not exactly had the greatest track record. They are responsible for two of the most hated adaptations of anime to date, and that would be Death Note, which it's abysmal, and Cowboy Bebop, which was just eviscerated by everyone. People who hadn't even seen Cowboy Bebop were talking about how bad it was. Now, they did succeed really big with One Piece live action.
But that's because Oda was literally right there giving them bumper tracks down the alley.
Yeah, Oda had everyone on a leash.
Yeah, what we really need is we need to bring back M. Night Shyamalan. I can't even say it with a straight face.
Is that one that I've seen? M. Light? Shovel?
He's a director who did the first Naruto live action adaptation. Or not Naruto, Atla.
Okay.
All right, you know what? I am look. Apparently, I shouldn't be hosting this because I'm stupid.
You're surrounded by two stupid and one of your cousins.
There's clowns to the left. I can't English. Fuck me. I speak one language. Can't even do that much, right? So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not, because as far as the trailer goes, it looks like a pretty one-to-one recreation of the actual series. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not this version of Avatar: The Last Airbender will succeed, or if One Piece was just a fluke. And as far as live action adaptations go, I have zero hopes for the Naruto live action.
All right, I have a question, and I think you'll see where I'm going with this. So, because Netflix is doing this, do you think, like with Toph, with her being blind, do you think they'll go like the whole like ableist route with that?
That would look. I wouldn't put it past Netflix.
I know that's why I'm just curious to see what you guys think.
I would not put it past Netflix to do something like that. But then again, I also wouldn't put it past Netflix to turn Katara into a girl boss.
Oh God.
Okay. Here's a question. I asked Ian this a while back, but particularly for you and Cooper and Lane. If Avatar were made, or Avatar: The Last Airbender were made exactly the same today, just with better animation, would it be considered woke or politically correct?
If it was made the same as it was, just better anime?
Man, I'm trying to think of like specific things. I don't think so. I could see why you would ask that, but
Well, it's actually a debate I've seen happen quite a bit because people will point to the fact that, Aang learns two forms of bending from women. He learns water bending from Katara, and he learns earth bending from Toph, right?
yeah, but here's the major difference is those characters are in the show and they fulfill their role, and like they're not there because they're women. They're just good characters that like that's what they're there for, Like the reason that going woke destroys all of these shows and animations, etc., is because that they're not there to create good characters and good story. They're there to throw in politics.
To-
and then
to
it
fulfill a
destroys the
checklist.
character. Yeah, exactly. So it's completely different. So no, I don't think so.
Well, yeah, that's kind of one of the things that I always argue is, well, the difference is when people in this space call something woke, generally they're talking about like a Mary Sue character who has no character development, is just perfect at everything she does automatically,
Ray.
and never has any sort of um uh fuck a character development. Character development. That's the word I'm looking for. And that was like, that's Ray. You don't see the same thing with Toph and Katara, because Katara sucks at waterbending when she starts. In fact, in the early stages, Aang picks up a lot better on it than she does. It's only once they get to the Water Nation, to the Water Tribes of the North, that she actually becomes a master before Aang, because she takes her lessons seriously, and Aang's more busy goofing off.
What's going on, Roland?
Hey, Roland. I was just talking about how Star Wars needed the Fortnite event to explain why Palpatine came back. It's good to see you too. Anyway, that's one of the things, like when it comes to this argument, people will point out like, well, you would consider such and such woke nowadays. Like, would like GT be considered woke nowadays? No, GT would just be considered trash.
We don't talk about GT. We don't talk about it.
GT.
Dragon Ball GT. Don't look it up. It's crazy.
Oh,
Anyway,
I haven't watched any Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
you're not missing out on much.
One of the, like, you get a lot of these cartoons, and like you'll have these characters just never undergo any sort of character arc, and people don't like them because they're just kind of like entitled characters who are there for diversity, like you were saying, Coops. And it ends up just being like a boring, mundane sort of storytelling because the hero never actually struggles with anything. And you only ever really develop a connection to a character through their struggles. Like, why are Kakashi and Shikamaru considered some of the greatest characters in Naruto? Because once you get their backstory and see all their development, everyone loves them.
Yeah, it's true. I think that's kind of what it all boils down to.
So yeah, the Avatar Last Airbender thing, gonna be interesting. I have zero hope for the Naruto live action movie that they're going to be doing, because they picked like the worst place to try and pick up the story with like the very end of Naruto.
Oh wait, it's just a movie?
I think so. I think it's a movie.
And they're not like starting from the beginning?
It looks like look, I'm making this assumption based on the poster, but it literally has Minato, Naruto, Shippuden Sasuke, and the infinite Tsukuyomi in the background.
Oh geez, this is gonna be bad. There's no way that's gonna be good.
There's that, and then there's also the fact that it's written by someone who wrote Witcher Blood Origin, which was just an absolutely abysmal show.
I was gonna say, isn't that literally like the worst rated production ever?
Right now, I think Robin Hood is sitting right there for
as it should be.
For
as it should be.
But yeah, we'll also get to see how they do with Yu Yu Hakusho, Netflix, because they got that live action thing coming out, and I still haven't watched Yu Yu Hakusho.
I have no idea what that is.
It's one of the older animes. I would be interested in watching it just to see what all the buzz is about, but it keeps popping up on my Pinterest feed for whatever reason.
Blood Origin's writer is working on it?
Yes. Her name is Tasha Huo. And she wrote a singular episode of Witcher Blood Origin. So I'm gonna go to see this thing whenever it comes out, just so I can talk about how awful it is.
Oh, and then if it actually blows you away, then just like actual props, it's like
hmm
But I'm not
But I-
getting my hopes up.
I'm not getting my hopes up on this one.
I'm not gonna get my hopes up for it. I want it to succeed, but from everything that I've heard, I don't have high hopes for it.
I wouldn't be able to tell. I haven't checked out the live action thing. I just know that they're doing it, and I've never seen the anime. I've never read the manga for it. So, look, I know though that Yu Yu Hakusho has a very loyal fan base. So, it must have done something right if it's got a huge fan base. But, well, then again, some of the worst animes I have ever watched have like massive, passionate fan bases. So,
I'm looking at you, Redo of Healer.
yeah, we don't talk about Redo of Healer. I was more so thinking Tokyo Revengers and Rent a Girlfriend. I still don't know why Yu Yu has the best tournament arc in anime. Interesting. I've never been a fan of tournament arcs. What do you guys think?
I love tournament arcs.
I was gonna say every tournament arc that I've seen has been pretty good. I mean, you have Hunter x Hunter, Naruto. Shoot, I'm blanking on the name. I mean, did I say Dragon Ball already? But that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of My Hero. You've got a tournament arc in My Hero, which wasn't. I mean, the freaking Todoroki versus Deku was probably one of my favorite fights, but I do think the Hunter x Hunter tournament arc was
Yeah,
at least
tournament
the Hunter exam arc was pretty cool.
tournament arcs do one thing really well, and it's almost like fanfare because you watch a anime and you get really attached to these characters, and you always think to yourself like, man, what would happen if that character ran into that character? And then you get a tournament arc and you just get to see all of these characters all meeting and fighting and going at it, and it's like, okay, I get all those questions answered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dark
Yeah.
Tournament. Dark Tournament is Nest Fighter.
I'm guessing this is
Dark
about
Tournament
Yu Yu.
is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So what
Okay, how do
is-
you spell that? Because I'm trying to look this up because I want to
Yeah,
watch some
it's-
of the stuff.
You can,
I'm
you
still
can literally just
relatively new.
Copy and paste it in in the chat there.
I was gonna say,
what's the
why?
premise of Yu Yu?
I don't quite know.
Actually, that's a good question. I can look it up on. I can look up the synopsis here really quick. No, not Yo-Yo.
Oh, this is like a classic one. I've like
Yeah.
seen this before. Yeah.
Okay. Yusuke Urameshi, a 14-year-old delinquent with a dim future. What the fuck is this ad? Sorry. It just took over my entire synopsis page here. With a dim future, gets a miraculous chance to turn it all around when he throws himself in front of a moving car to save a young boy. His ultimate sacrifice is so out of character that the authorities of the spirit realm are not yet prepared to let him pass on. Koenma, heir to the throne of the spirit realm, offers Yusuke an opportunity to regain his life through completion of a series of tasks. With the guidance of the death god Botan, he is to thwart evil presences on Earth as a spirit detective. So it kind of sounds like the first thing I heard was he gets a kiss from Truck Kun, and I'm like, oh wait, this is going to be like another isekai story, but it doesn't exactly sound like that.
Special grade curse, Truck-kun.
That's actually a thing they used in Jujutsu Kaisen. They're like in the midst of this latest arc in the manga. There's a guy who takes out a special grade curse with a truck. Just one shot's a special grade.
Is it Aoi?
No, the guy's name is Tabata. Not Tabata.
Anyways.
Takaba. That's what it is. Anyway, the premise sounds cool. I might have to get into that. Anyway. Yeah, so we kind of got way off track because this was supposed to be a bit of a Star Wars thing, talking about like Filoni and like his direction. A lot of his like newer live action stuff, like Mando was cool for the first 2 seasons, and then I just was not interested in the third season after everything they did to Gina Carano. Like
Yeah.
Gina Carano wasn't allowed to have an opinion that says, hey, maybe don't hate other people because that's a pretty bad thing. And Pedro Pascal was basically allowed to call half the country Nazis. And that happened. I do not regret my decision because I saw what happened with Din Djarin. He basically takes a secondary role in his own series. And then there was the Book of Boba Fett shenanigans with the spin in the middle of the fight and the that awful chase scene.
Oh man, so bad. How about the chase scene in Obi-Wan when little Leia's going
Oh.
through the forest? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
terrible.
so bad.
I will say though, in the third season of the Mando, two of the greatest things in that season though were the new N1 Naboo starfighter. That thing was pretty sick. Like I liked that the bounty hunter style. And then just the fight scene at the end where you had all the Imperial Super Mandos. I'm forgetting the actual term for them, but all the Imperial guys in the Mandalorian armor, in the Beskar armor.
See, from what I heard, though, they destroy the Darksaber.
I don't remember them doing that, but I don't doubt that.
You don't remember much these days, do
I was
you?
gonna say.
Don't hit your head. Just don't hit
Oh,
your head.
man.
I
How
don't have.
about,
I need to put a terabyte or two hard drive in my head.
while
It's
we're on
plastic.
this
I can just
topic,
take it off.
Well, having
Yeah.
memory doesn't help with processing power. So
I've never said that I didn't need some RAM sticks too. The computer up in the skull just doesn't work.
Wow. Lane wants RAM sticks. Bottom confirmed.
Wow.
you don't
I
want to
mean,
buy
he
RAM
already-
sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life.
Fatherless behavior.
Hey, I guess that's why I feel like I'm kind of like Naruto. I just don't have the nine-tail spirit in me, thankfully.
All
So
right.
back on topic here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trim, well, to all of you actually. Did you guys ever watch Andor?
No,
Andor?
I
Yeah.
didn't watch Andor.
Mando, what'd you think
Again,
of it?
I mean, it was pretty interesting to see. In a sense, it was kind of like the Clone Wars series because it brought some information to what the original 6 movies were.
Yeah,
Like how they got information and just how the rebellion kind of started and took off.
I think it's one of the best of all of these shows that Filoni has done because it told a coherent story and was really enjoyable, actually.
Agreed.
And there was minimal like politics in it and stuff, which is probably
I hear from even people who were hating on Disney Star Wars that it was probably the best that they had done with Star Wars.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Roland.
dude literally crushes one of the oldest lightsabers in history with his bare hands, and then the Darksaber story matters since Clone Wars. Also, Andor is the best project. Yeah, like I said, this guy knows his Star Wars. He's the Star Wars shill.
So, Roland, what do you think they're gonna do with Grogu? Like, he's pretty awesome.
Mando's a big Grogu and Mandalorian fan.
I'm not great on the lore, so forgive me for anything I mess up, but I still love the story.
I hope they put him in a blender and turn him into guacamole.
Whoa! Holy cow!
Jeez, man.
Okay. Okay. Did not see that one coming.
I was just gonna say Lane's addicted to the merch character, but that was a bit extreme. Leave it to my kid brother to say the most out of pocket shit.
Dude, I'm like stunned. I just got flashbangs. I gotta like, reorient right now.
No, so I hear a lot of like credit goes to Andor for actually doing something like intriguing with Disney Star Wars. But surrounding Andor is a hurricane of things that I just don't want to touch.
Yeah.
And Andor just kind of like flew under my radar because it was like there's a 50-50. I actually like this and enjoy it because I haven't enjoyed a whole lot of Star Wars since Kenobi killed any of my passion that I had left for it. And I just let it go because there were other things I wanted to watch at the time. I forget even what was even out.
Yeah, I know you got a lot on your plate, but you should definitely give Visions and give Andor a shot.
I'll try. I'll see what I can do. Long time and go on his own journey after training.
And I haven't come back at all into the Mandoverse movie. He's oversaturated. Yeah, I do feel like they tried to push the Baby Yoda story a bit much.
I always thought. Wait, they have Andrew. They have Andrew Serkis in Andor.
Yeah.
I might be wrong on this, but that's the guy who narrates the audiobooks for Lord of the Rings, and he also does Gollum in the movies.
He played Snoke, right? So he's in multiple parts of the Star Wars universe.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure he played Snoke. Correct me if I'm wrong. But...
I'm gonna look this up right now.
Okay.
Clickety
clack.
Black Panther.
Andy
Dawn of the
Serkis,
Apes.
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Okay. Nice.
So we finally found out who Snoke was.
Yep.
Snoke is
out.
Burned. Snoke is Gollum.
Snoke is Gollum.
That's the precious. Stellan Skarsgård kill it in that show. King Kong too, huh?
I don't recall King Kong speaking. Mostly just beating his chest.
There's a joke there. I won't say it.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Their roles are great in Andor.
Okay, well, I've gotten a lot of recommendations to at least try it out, but I'll see what I can do about it. So at what point do we think do we think Disney's going to get desperate enough to start licensing their stuff out to people who will do better stuff with it?
I don't think they will.
I
think
don't know,
Disney
but that would be
is a
great.
greedy freaking corporation. I think they're just going to do what they always do and buy another corporation to keep them afloat.
Yeah.
They're going to let the culture die. That's all they're doing is battling the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have to do that, or they have to start producing good content, or eventually they're just going to be losing too much money.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've already kind of screwed themselves with like Marvel. The Marvels coming out was it has not been good on them. So I was looking at numbers and stuff. So like one of the worst superhero bombs to date was The Flash. It was the absolute lowest, and its opening day was 9.6 million. The Marvel's opening day was 6.6 million.
Whoa.
Wow.
So yeah.
I literally my father-in-law and brother-in-law were all free that day, and they invited me to go see that movie with them, and I had nothing going on, and I love spending time with them, and I was like, guys, I'm sorry, I don't want to sit through that movie. I just won't do it.
I thought you were going to tell me you went and saw it and it was awful.
No, I just was like, I can't, like,
how do I fly? I don't know. Use black girl magic.
Yeah, I don't want to subject myself to that.
No,
how was their response after seeing it, or did they not go see it?
I haven't actually spoken to them about it afterwards, so
should make sure that they didn't get that itch that only a shotgun could scratch after watching it.
They said something about buying a couple toasters and bathtubs. I don't know.
Okay. For real though, we hope they're well.
Unless we hate them, then I don't know.
Oh, hey, Black. I was wondering when you were going to show up.
You mentioned Black Girl Magic, and so it begins.
Whoa, careful there. Okay.
Well, I just thought the timing was hilarious.
I mean, it is. He's not wrong. So, because it's kind of getting down to the end of the year, I know, Mando, you probably haven't seen it, but Jujutsu Kaisen, you think it's going to win Anime of the Year?
So let's talk about this. What's its competition?
Yeah, that's a good free run.
There's Frieren. There's also a Spy Family movie coming out in December here soon.
So Spy
And-
Family could potentially steal it right at the last second.
Spy Family, potentially, yes. Frieren is like the thing I see being like the only real competition, and even then, Frieren's strength is that it has like no weaknesses.
Yeah, right.
Jujutsu Kaisen's strength is that it hit its best arc in the whole series in the most actually Roland brings up some good points.
Love is War and Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
No.
Oh,
No. No.
Yeah.
That's
That's
not.
true.
It's
Attack
too
on
graphic.
Titan ended this year. That is actually a really
That's
important one.
that's the real contender right
And
there.
Love is
Yeah.
War is insanely popular because it's good. I love that series.
That's actually some good class. Yeah, that's actually some very good competition.
Roland,
I
you
freaking
want
love
to get
Love
in
is
on here
War.
too? You want to hop in here too?
Attack on Titan, though. No. It sucks.
But my
Straight up.
opinion is I think that JJK is gonna take it. It's so good. It's
Yeah.
been so good. And like they have done fantastic with the animation. Those animators probably haven't slept in a couple of years.
Yeah, this is like I did this whole thing last week. And Black kind of brings up the point. Like Nappa has gotten so bad.
He wants a link.
Yeah, I'll send it to him. You guys don't have to stick here the whole time, by the way. I can keep going. If you at some point feel like you need to go or need to do something else, that's fine. I'm going to continue the show. Either way,
I will
I'm
say
gonna-
I'm season 2, episode 25, so I just broke into season 2 for Jujutsu Kaisen.
bro, once
Watch
you get
Jujutsu Kaisen says Attack on Titan is too graphic.
once
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get okay, here's my thing. Like once you get to like Yuji versus Choso in that, oh my gosh, that series, that like second season starts to take off. Like it was
Okay.
good. It has solid storytelling up to that point. But the reason you watch Jujutsu Kaisen is because its fights are so amazing.
I like the girl with the hammer and the nails. That's kind of cool.
Nobara.
Don't get too
Yeah.
attached to anyone.
No. If I'm gonna be attached, I'm watching DxD. Like, come on.
No. If you're gonna get attached, watch Frieren. Frieren's just like
That is good.
it's such a like warm, cozy show to just enjoy. And it will be my favorite anime of the year, hands down. I have no doubt about that. But I do expect Jujutsu Kaisen, because it's so popular and because it's it's epic, really. And it's kind of defined the animation for an animation game for fight scenes for a while now. Like that was Demon Slayer when season 2 came out.
Jeez.
Kind of
dude.
defined animation for that. Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen is like I feel is taking it to another level. Because
It's
I've
so
seen
hard.
I've seen
It's-
stuff with like Sukuna versus Jogo that is just absolutely insane. To see
It's
all
so
that stuff.
hard to imagine anything better than like freaking Entertainment District's Demon Slayer, dude. It was so freaking beautiful.
Yeah, Entertainment District stuff is it's good. Actually really good, and that's one of the things I want to get my hands on is like Blu-rays for the whole Demon Slayer series, because boy, that would look good in Blu-ray. I mean, I already have Mugen Train, and that looks fantastic in Blu-ray. And because I watch everything like low quality pirated, you don't always get the best experience. Yeah, UFO Table does really good. It's just that they only focus on like one thing at a time. And Mappa does really good, but they overwork their employees to the point where, oh no, you better not complain or else you're going to get hit with an NDA. Yeah, that was a thing that they did. which makes me like kind of nervous, like reading all of this news about Mappa. And so a little bit of background for you on this. Mappa was founded by one of the previous founders of Studio Madhouse, which is the studio doing Frieren right now. Now, Madhouse went through this phase a while back in like the 2010s. They went through their whole collapse because all of their animators just walked. They were sick and tired of the environment. And the studio basically was on the verge of like its own death and somehow managed to come back like Snoke or Palpatine, I should say. And one of the founders of Madhouse went on to form Mappa. And some of the old animators went on to Mappa, and it produced the same exact environment. So, surprise, surprise, here they are in kind of the same situation, which would be really sad to see because there's one really, really important fight with Mahito this season for the Shibuya arc to wrap up that they really need to nail in order to like solidify. Like they can still, Jujutsu Kaisen can still drop the ball. If they biff on the ending of this season
on Yuji versus Mahito. Yeah, 100%.
They have a lot of good stuff going for them, but if they piss off their fan base with a bad addition at the earth, like bad animation at the end, especially because Shibuya arc is like their Shibuya arc and Premature Death were like two of the most popular arcs in the series. Now, Culling Game has also been like huge. People are loving that too. But that's like the end of the series kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. However, this kind of situation isn't unusual for animators in Japan because, well, it's kind of a norm for the whole industry, from what I've understood from my reading. And I've ranted long enough, so.
Krim ranting? Never.
Ranting?
Well,
so,
Krim,
yeah. As far as, like, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say, it's been a pleasure being on your stream. It's been awesome being here. I hope you'll have me back. I'm going to let Roland replace me. I've got a fussy baby that needs to go to bed, so I'm going to go put him down to bed, not permanently.
I was going to say, you're going to put the baby
down? So I will catch you guys later.
No.
Okay, but before you leave, I have one question. What do you guys, and I know I'm kind of throwing us off, but Isekai is kind of like my favorite animes. What do you think would make like the best outline of a great Isekai story?
You're asking the not Isekai guy to stay for the Isekai talk. This is my cue. Later, nerds.
Oh, okay.
I'll be lurking in the chat.
Have fun.
Adios.
Thanks for coming on.
I hate that guy.
You love him, you gay little twink.
Damn right I do.
Okay, you want my opinion on the best Isekai? I just did a video on it, actually. And I will pull up my screen here in just a second and show you what I think the best Isekai is of all time. It's not my favorite Isekai, but it is definitely the best Isekai. The king of Isekai.
Is it Konosuba?
No, Konosuba is definitely up there, but it's this right here.
Alrighty. You know what? I've only seen a couple
Jobless.
episodes. I've only
Jobless
seen a couple
reincarnation.
episodes, and honestly, I kind of agree.
You've actually only seen one episode, I think.
Oh, did we only watch the one?
Yeah.
Low-key Tron was the first isekai.
No, Roland, you're wrong. Narnia was the first isekai.
That's fair. That's fair.
Also, Roland, I sent you the link over Twitter, just so you know. I DM'd it to you.
Tron.
Yeah.
Oh.
The thing, like, if you really want to know, like, what I love in an isekai, check out my videos on ReZero and Jobless Reincarnation, because I think those are two really good examples of how isekai should be handled. The other way, of course,
Yeah,
Only the
Oh.
greatest.
making one of my magic commanders with Mega. I always say it Megami. How do you actually pronounce that?
Megami is Jujutsu Kaisen. Megamine is Konosuba.
there's an
Okay,
N at the
yeah.
end.
All of these names are difficult to separate. It's all just never mind. I could go terrible with that.
We're glad you stopped.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
All right. He's hopping
Meanwhile-
on. I gotta use the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back.
All right.
I was gonna say Roland's about to hop on like All Might. Fear not, citizen.
No, but then, like, as far as like isekai goes, I think it needs to be more so like just get into the fantasy element of it. Stop trying to focus on like the video game stuff. I think by and large, most isekai stories do not handle that very well.
With the I'm gonna point out an exception, and that's So I'm a Spider, So What?
No, actually, I was gonna say, I said most isekai don't
Yeah,
handle that
I was
well.
gonna say that's why I noticed.
So I'm a
that.
Spider as a story handles that really well,
Mm-hmm.
and Shield Hero handles that really, really well.
That is also.
Because they
really
have proper explanations for the
Mhm.
whole skill system, the level up, all of
Mhm.
that. And that ends up actually being like a fun element to the story.
Yeah.
The issue you have with isekai is, one, it generally ends up being an excuse for just like harem bullshit.
Oh, I'm overpowered, and women love me for whatever reason. So
Yes.
Yeah.
And on the other end of it, that's one of the things, like, as far as isekai goes, its biggest weakness is that it became super popular and oversaturated with bad entries. So, like, following the success of Jobless Reincarnation, of Overlord, of ReZero, and of Shield Hero, So I'm a Spider, Konosuba, all really good isekais.
Mm-hmm.
But then what about the
The-
reincarnation about he comes in as a little slime, a little blue slime that eats
See,
everything?
that's actually a really popular one, and one that I don't think is all that great. There are some effective storytelling moments, but it more often than not just feels very stereotypical and tropey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Konosuba gets away with being like tropey and ridiculous because it's a parody. Jobless Reincarnation gets away with its shenanigans because its world is watertight. Like, Jobless Reincarnation is a proper like fantasy world.
Well,
And while it does have its like pervy elements and stuff to it, with Rudius Greyrat being who he is.
A rat.
Oh shit! A rat! One of my big it gets away with that kind of stuff because it invests so much in creating a really good world. That is one of the big important things about it. Oh, here we go.
What's up, boys?
Welcome
How's it
back.
going?
Howdy, sir.
Meet the gay frog, my younger brother, and my doppelganger if I were to shave, Mando.
yeah, many
Sweet
people
nuts.
actually confuse us.
It's
And
funny because Mando looks more like my brother than I do.
That's funny.
All
Yeah,
right,
nice to
so
meet you guys. Good to see you,
Yeah.
Crimson.
So yeah, AOT. I still haven't watched it. I'm trying to get to the point where like I can actually start going through it.
Yeah.
But as far as like anime of the year, the best one I've seen, Jujutsu Kaisen. I think what might really hurt Attack on Titan is the divide in the fan base over its ending.
I agree. But the reason I had to bring that up is because you like Love is War. The Love is War movie did great.
I actually watched the episodes that they had out last
it-
weekend.
It did.
Oh my
really
gosh, it's so
dude.
good.
People were like raving about that for a while, and then I think the same has to be said for. There's always going to be somebody that's like, "Oh my god, Attack on Titan was perfect," and there's going to be a lot of people that say that. It's still one of the most popular anime on the planet. So
I think after
that's
like hearing
else.
Ivan and Lethal argue over that, I think its ending doesn't even sound that bad. And yes, I've spoiled myself. And oh no, I'm one of those weird people who can
I don't have
actually
a
enjoy
problem
a
with it.
story.
A lot of
Without
people did have a problem with it. I didn't read the manga, but I heard the manga ending was even worse. So I didn't really have a problem with it.
yeah, no, I've read actual like bad endings. One of which was probably like one of my favorite light novel series. So I'm a Spider So What had a really weak ending, like super anticlimactic. Tokyo Revengers, I think I told you about that one. Absolutely
we talked about that
horrific
one.
ending. But I don't think after listening to all of it, and I've been spoiled now, I don't think Attack on Titan's ending is bad.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Blood War has to be a contender just because it blew up this season. Part 2 of Blood War did better than Part 1 did.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna
Blood
say I was checking.
It's not just because I'm wearing a Bleach shirt. It's just like
I was checking ratings. Blood War is up there in like the top 20, I think, for all time right now.
really.
Yeah.
And Chainsaw was last year, right? It was last
Yeah.
October. So
Chainsaw Man was last year.
sick. I need to get one of those, dude. I want one. I
This
have
thing's
Cone
so
from
fluffy.
Bleach, but I want to get me a little Pachita.
Yeah, both me and Krim have Vegeta.
You guys saying Blood War?
But
You talked about Bleach?
Yeah.
That I have not watched.
Well, it's this guy's favorite anime.
Okay.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
not so much of a fan of it until it gets to Blood War. I don't think it's entirely not worth watching, though.
Mhm.
It has less filler than Naruto does.
Yeah, by a small margin, but still.
Yeah.
I don't see it on Crunchy. Where can I see that at?
Right now, Hulu has the rights to Bleach. You can watch all of Bleach on Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Yeah, literally all of it's on there. And actually, funnily enough, not in America, but in other countries, Disney Plus has the rights to Bleach.
Oh, so VPN
Yeah.
works. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember which countries it is, but for some reason Disney Plus got that, but they won't put anything violent enough in Star Wars. But you got the violence of Bleach on there.
Dude, Disney Plus. Have you ever heard of oh god, what is it? Heavenly Delusion. Disney Plus distributed Heavenly Delusion across the world, and that one is pretty violent. There's this whole scene where a dude like R words some chick. It's not explicit, but it's definitely implied.
It's implied,
Basically
yeah.
holds her chained up to a bed naked for a couple of days. He's all creepy about it.
Yeah, that's.
I'm
That's
sorry,
like-
I spaced out for a second and it came back to you talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they even.
What now?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm surprised that they even allow Atlantis to still be on Disney Plus with how violent. Like I rewatched Atlantis recently because I freaking love that movie, like the old animation.
The Lost Empire one?
Yeah,
Okay.
rewatch it.
Yeah.
There is a
Dude,
massive amount
old
of-
Western animation is just so good. Like, go back to
Yeah.
1940s Superman versus the Mad Scientist.
Mhm.
The animation on that is like better than 90% of what the West puts out now.
The Atlantis.
I mean, if you really want to talk about like animated movies, like the early 2000s, they hit a groove and pumped shit out so clean. It was beautiful, and then it just vanished off the face of the earth.
Rango,
Gone.
Rango is like not a kids movie. You ever watch it again? Like you can watch it as a kid, it's funny. You watch it as an adult, you're like, oh my god. Like the same thing with Atlantis. Like I rewatched it because I love the movie. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes. But it was one of my favorite movies as a kid. And I was like, holy crap, I forgot they have it on Disney Plus. Gotta rewatch this. So
Yeah.
Okay. I just added
blood,
that.
there's blood, cursing, violence, sexual innuendos all throughout that movie. And you never realize as a kid, but like,
dude, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm,
crazy.
like it's good movie. But Batman literally punches the Joker's teeth out, and there's like blood and stuff running out of his mouth. And dude, that movie was not for kids, but I was watching it when I was like 8. Yeah, it's sad to see how bad things have gotten. And yes, Black, I have heard about Disney Wish failing. That's something I'm just laughing at.
Disney Wish fail.
Disney put out a new movie, like Pixar put out a new movie called Wish for Disney 100-year anniversary.
My favorite thing, Crimson, is what's it about? And Ryan Kennel's like, I don't know, like a black girl and a goat. And that's literally what you get nothing else in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Black girl magic.
Yeah, he's like about a black girl and a goat. That's literally it. You get nothing else from the trailer. There's no explanation of what the movie's actually about.
Which begs you to ask the question, like, does he even know what's being written?
Well, it's funny too because every trailer for that movie that's come out, everyone's like, and you're supposed to be telling me that this guy's the villain?
Ian, let me interrupt here. Ian, to answer your question, he's not talking about the writer. He's talking about a YouTuber named Ryan Kinnel, RK Outpost.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. He's a great channel to go and check out, actually.
Gotcha. I'm hardly ever on YouTube. So
yeah, one of the things, like, Wish was just such a hilariously insane premise. It's like the whole thing is like anyone who tells you no is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, seriously? What you're gonna go with?
Because she's like, well, he's like, these are all the wishes from everybody in this, whatever the name of the country is.
All the wishes from everyone in my kingdom.
Yeah, and he's
like, I can grant them whenever I feel like.
I grant the ones that I deem worthy. And it's like, well, she's like, well, you have to grant every wish. It's like, well, what if the wish is like, my neighbor's a dick. I want him to break his legs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are still it's a Disney movie. They're all gonna have benevolent wishes. There's gonna be mean wishes. There's gonna be somebody that goes, I wish I had more money than anybody else. Like, they're not gonna, like, I wouldn't. I'd be like, no.
You see,
you wish for your dog to have a healthier time, like, or something. Like, yes, I'll grant that wish. But like,
you want your daughter to recover from this illness. I will grant that wish.
Right.
I can't help grant the wish of your neighbor breaking his legs. I just need $500.
But you know, all those wishes can't be completely benevolent wishes, and then he's just like painted as a bad guy because he's like, I only grant the wishes that I deem right, that will help the country. And she's like, well, no, you have to grant them all.
Based leader?
Yeah, based leader is a bad guy?
The thing about this that really like peeves me is this could have been a really good like coming of age sort of story, talking about like how I think her name is Aisha kind of has to grow out of that naivete that like not everyone is a good person and that you should be very careful with the powers you have because they can have serious consequences. But that's not what they chose to do. Instead, they chose to make it like this idea that well, anyone in authority who tells you no is a bad person. And it kind of it sends the message that you should be able to do absolutely anything you want, and no one should be able to tell you how to live your life. Well, the whole reason we have laws and rules, religion, moral codes is because people, given the option to live their life as they will do degenerate shit. Like go on Twitter and talk about how they like to stuff spider eggs in their pussy.
Yeah. I don't know where that one came from, but yeah, they
something I was going
to say I unfortunately do because he showed me that thread, and I'm so glad that we didn't talk about it.
Jesus. Nah,
And basically, it was a thread of like why people consider weebs to be like the lowest of the low when it comes to human beings, and it's just all like the worst.
we're
weeb
above furries, okay?
I don't talk shit about furries because if they can afford a $5,000 fursuit, they can afford a $5 pipe bomb in my mailbox.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. That's true.
It is
The one
weird though
thing
to
is-
figure out that some of the people you know are furries. Like I got a friend who's got there's a couple million view TikTok of her, and I was just like, damn, didn't know
Is
that.
her name the Noob Reviews?
No.
Oh my god, Megan.
The noob reviews. Is she cute?
Someone I like to harass because
That's
she's a
it.
woman.
That's an inside joke from our anime channel.
Gotcha.
Is she cute?
Yes.
Yes. All
my
right,
God,
I'll go
man.
hunting.
Hey, I can say it. Megan's good looking.
Yeah, she is. What is she though? Like 30 something at this point?
I don't care.
She eats rocks.
She eats rocks. That's the yo, that's the best fucking. When Ivan just goes, "Shut up," or no, is it Lethal? He's like, "Shut up, you eat rocks," or something.
Yes.
And Epic Mike got involved. On it. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's the best when Mike and Lethal are all in there with everybody.
Oh yeah, Mike's just egging everyone on.
Yeah.
But let's get back to our show instead of talking about someone else's shows. By the way, if you know Weebs and Waifus, you should definitely go check them out because I'm a troll in their chat.
Okay, but before we completely go back, what is really the definition of a weeb? Because this whole anime thing, this whole culture, I'm still kind of new to it.
I don't even
Yeah.
think that the original definition was just a Westerner who loves anime. But I think it has gotten so convoluted, just like what's the definition of woke?
Mhm.
There's so many different levels to it at this
I
point.
think. Oh, what the hell happened to? Yeah, I think he just had some issues. I think one of the
You know better than us.
yeah, well, he's like literally right in the room over there. So if there's an issue, if he comes back, if he needs anything, he'll message me. He'll talk to me. Okay. The frog is back.
The frog is-
I accidentally closed my tab out instead of opening a new one.
I was like, what were we talking about? I'm so off track because of you, Ian. Now,
The definition of a weeb.
okay.
Okay, that's what I was.
I
opening a
think
new
one of the
tab for.
things that has happened with anime becoming super popular is that for the broader world, weeb was just considered someone who liked anime or Japanese culture. But now that like the internet has hit, that anime has become more mainstream, it's sort of stratified. So like weebs end up being like the super obsessive kind of people, from my understanding.
Yeah.
So
Whereas just normal anime fans would be people like you, Mando, or Cooper. You don't really get like super deep into it like I do. Like I literally, if I pull my camera off here, I can show you guys my massive stack of books that's over there. And that whole tower is stuff I haven't read.
That's more books than I'll read in my life.
Yeah. Also, because of Black Friday, I may have ordered like 8 more books. But like you basically have like the people who get like super into it, like the shippers and all of that. Those are like definitely considered weeaboo level stuff.
Yeah, like you're gonna get your Raylos in the anime community of like
The Bakudekus.
no, dude.
Bakudeku is the same as Raylo.
Zutara is the same as Raylo.
I don't know these people.
Zuko and Katara is the same thing as Raylo.
Yeah.
Ray and
Like
Kylo
literally.
Ren.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or like the one that I hate the most out of everything is Sokka and Zuko together. Like people will ship that like because of the one arc. They're like,
Sorry, you're giving me an itch on the roof of my mouth that about only really a shotgun could scratch.
No. Why say no? Please encourage that. The frog. I mean, he's.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you dare call me
Yeah,
a
it's-
Frenchman. I
you
take
get
great
an
offense
itch
to
that
that.
only a shotgun could scratch.
Yes.
I'm gonna use
No,
that.
I think I call myself a weeb at this point because I'm just like, you know what? People are gonna make fun of me. People are gonna hate me. I might as well just turn it into something that people can laugh about. I just kind of embrace the cringe and do funny shit at this point. Like I did that whole review of 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. And I get it. That's like really like weeb shit territory. Like you don't talk about watching or reading that kind of stuff, but it was funny. I just kind of embrace it at this point. I'm okay with it. I don't know if I would probably fit into the category of like a normal weeb. Like I have my plushies. I have a Rem plushie over there. I have my Pochita plushie. I have Gut statues. I have Kakashi, Rengoku sitting over there. I collect manga. I have shirts and stuff.
Yes, that's being like that's like not surface level, but that's like you're weeb the same way you're a Star Wars fan or a Lord of the Rings fan. The same thing. It's just for a different type of medium. But then there's the people that are writing fan fictions that are like books, novels long. And
Twinkie, do you remember what I sent you?
I mean,
hold on.
like
on Discord.
Yeah. So like,
writing fan fiction on its own is not.
No!
What?
Yeah,
What's going on?
no, we're not talking about that, are we?
I'm gonna bring it up now. So as far as like the fan fictions go, there's some curse stuff. So like I saw one that was Naruto x Mikasa from Attack on Titan. Like how the heck does that work? But the most insane one I saw, it was what if Deku and Femme Todoroki fell in love, part 1, and it's an hour and a half long.
Oh, they get worse, man. They get worse.
So, Lane, just
Yes.
so you know, never go to this depth of weeb bullshittery. That's why I warned you not to watch any High School DxD.
Come on, the pepperoni was pretty good.
What kind of pepperoni?
Don't get a boner. Don't get a boner.
Hey, listen, I only watched 2 episodes, and I'm not watching anymore.
You should watch Ghost
We're
Stories.
gonna try it once, says the man who tried it twice.
You should watch the American dub Ghost Stories.
I was telling them about that earlier, dude.
So good, dude.
Lane, you would actually love American dub Ghost Stories.
It is so funny. They'll be like, the kid.
Not because you're a rabbit.
But because you're black.
Rabbit. Because you're black.
Hey, yo, what?
Touch me. Like,
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Punch my whole setup.
my dude. The cat just goes, good job, retard.
Oh, hey, wait, what? I'm the retard. What'd you say?
I'm telling you, just look up, show him one clip from Ghost Stories.
I'll find the rabbit one.
Yeah, show him one clip from Ghost Stories. So basically, what happened was like the Japanese like sub gave up on this show because it just wasn't doing well. But the American company like didn't. They still had it, so they just dubbed it over with whatever they wanted. And it's the funniest shit, dude. It is so funny.
All right, I'm gonna pull it up now.
It's in my watch list now. I'll be watching that later.
Yeah, dub Ghost Stories. You'll laugh almost every scene, dude. It's so stupid.
All right, you seeing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I probably should turn the volume back on.
I am your favorite among these heathens. You are pathetic.
When he died, I was so sad that I would never hear that voice again. His laugh, his funny little requests.
Touch me.
Demands.
Touch me harder.
Jude,
What the fuck?
bringing you back to life. I know now that it could never work between us. As much as we wanted to, it could never be. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
That's the whole show. Is like,
The whole show is like that.
The
I
little kid, they just keep calling him retarded. He's
okay. I kind of want to get high and
Jason's
watch
right.
that. It's
Maybe
gonna
you
be
are
great.
retarded.
hilarious, dude.
Bro, no, there's only one time where I got absolutely inebriated watching an anime, and it was during Bucket List of the Dead. I watched the first like 2-3 episodes of Bucket List of the Dead after like destroying a 6-pack. I was just so out of it. I was laughing my ass off like a retard.
Oh, dude, I've watched some. There's definitely times that I watch anime and I'm just dying at some of the like stupidest shit. Like, may or may not have been inebriated or on a substance of some kind.
Bucket list.
No,
What?
the hardest I have ever laughed though was watching Konosuba. The first time through, I like that and Love Is War are just so amazing when it comes
Love
to
is
comedy.
War is hilarious, but it'll also make you want to tear up, dude. It'll make you tear up and make you like really care. You'll be on the edge of your seat.
Dude, that movie had me fucked up, dude.
Dude,
Like with
Krim and I introduced our parents to Love Is War, and my dad, he's got such a sense of humor. I mean, he was like almost on the floor for like 5 minutes at the wiener joke.
Oh, dude, how about the point? How about the point in like season 1 where Shikigami is just like
Ishigami.
He's like big, old but small tits, and he's like doing it right in front of
Fujiwara.
The press is like Ishigami, and he's like, I'm gonna go home and kill myself. I
need to finish Love Is
No,
War,
it's
dude.
not that. Like Fujiwara literally made a bludgeon right in front of his face.
and then beat the shit out of him.
Yes. that series is almost flawless, dude.
I need to finish.
That's narrator.
Oh, Ian
dub
Sinclair
narrator Ian Sinclair.
The dub narrator is so good, and
I
he's
freaking
just
love Ian
hilarious.
Sinclair in that series, dude.
I think Ian Sinclair was the perfect choice for a narrator.
Oh yeah. Also, some of the best intros in the new anime, like except for JJK's new intro. I freaking love it.
Dude, Specials is good.
You are my special.
I think JJK is gonna win a lot of awards this year. I don't care, Spy Family fans, Attack on Titan fans, Ivan. I don't care.
Spy Family sucks.
Jujutsu Kaisen, it has won the year. Frieren is my favorite anime this year, but Jujutsu Kaisen has won the year.
Did you watch the newest episode that dropped on Thanksgiving?
The newest episode of what?
JJK dropped on Thanksgiving.
I have only gotten so far as Sukuna has just awakened. Yeah, so I know that some of the juicy stuff is about to happen.
Did you see the fight though?
I watched Pump Daddy Toji beat the shit out of Dagon, and that was like the last big fight.
Okay, so dude, you're about to.
No, I saw some clips of it on YouTube.
Dude, one of the cleanest lines. One of the cleanest lines in that entire show is, "Well, if you can lay a single finger on me, I'll work with you."
Yes.
From Sukuna. And he's like, "What? Like, what do you mean?" And he just goes, "Lay a finger on me or die." And it's like, what the fuck, bro? It just that animation. There's a shot where he runs through the building, dude. And it's just like it is like insanely good animation.
See, Lane, this is why you need to keep up with some of the new stuff, the Jujutsu Kaisens and all of that.
Well, I think we're gonna get more animation like this in Chainsaw 2.
Are they confirmed doing Chainsaw 2?
Oh yeah, Chainsaw not part 2, but like it would be season 2 for us.
Chainsaw Man 2.
This is the one with the dog with the chainsaw.
Yeah. So
That's
they ended right before So the one thing you can say about Chainsaw Man's first 100 chapters, we've only gotten up to like the first 25 or 35 chapters in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's great. It's a great
Yeah, they're going into the Bomb Devil after this. That's
exactly,
like the next
which is a
part.
great arc. And then after that, the arc just gets better and better and
Mhm.
better until you hit 100, and then it almost there's like a time skip before part 2
Mhm.
where everything's kind of back to normal, and then it just gets wild again and just goes up and up and up and up and up.
Mhm.
Like there will be scenes by season 3 of the show. I think they're gonna do it in 3 seasons, but it's
Yeah, as far as animation goes, though, I mean, one of the big topics that really has me concerned is all the Mappa stuff that's going on.
3D animation. They're using
Um,
it a lot too in Chainsaw, and it kind of
Mhm.
works, but I feel like if they went more of the JJ,
well, not just that, but like they're going through like the madhouse phase right now, where they've pushed themselves to like the top of the industry, and they're starting to feel some of the consequences of forcing that. Like their animators are not happy right now, and it's looking like there could be some sort of revolt.
well, funnily enough, like I never expected to see this video pop up. Side scrollers whenever it. Even side
Really?
scrollers. Oh, yeah, they posted it today. I got out of work. Wait, when I was trying to see who was live, I saw you were live, and then right under it was like side scrollers posted a video, and it was Mappa overworking their writers and stuff, and I was like, wow. So Stuttering Craig, who used to be affiliated with Rooster Teeth back in the day, is talking about this, and he's not even like a big anime fan.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
by the way, Rooster Teeth is dead.
Oh, yeah, we've known that for a while.
It sucks, man. We're never gonna get good Red versus Blue again.
Oh man, that was the best. I remember those.
There's some. We finally have someone in here who knows Red versus Blue like you, Roland.
Yeah, dude, I have the freaking encyclopedia. I got it signed by the author, or not the author, the composer for the music, and Barbara. But yeah, I loved Rooster Teeth back in the day. Red versus Blue is good. Like it's amazing up until season 10. And each season's an hour. Each season's an hour and a half. So it's like I think the longest season is like 2 hours and 10 minutes. But the storyline, you could literally start at season 6 if you wanted to and just go from there. The fight scenes get so good. Stop at season 13. It ends on a cliffhanger. Just stop it there. Just stop it there, because you'll go into season 14 and it's all shorts that have nothing to do with the story. And then you go into season 15 and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, they all escaped. And then it just goes on to a completely different story. They don't show the battle. They don't show the fight. They don't do anything. We waited 4 years to see what the hell was going to happen after that cliffhanger, and they never do anything with it. The whole show is just random characters with 2 of the original characters that are still around, and they sit at desks and train people.
Is YouTube still the best place to watch that? Because I'm wanting to go back and rewatch it. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I know Rooster Teeth has a YouTube channel, don't they?
That's where I watched all the Red
Hold on, real quick, because you should be able to watch like. Let me check. Red versus Blue season 1. I recommend starting at season 1 because you'll really get to know all the characters by the time the storyline just gets insane. That show will make you cry, guaranteed. Like it really will. You'll be like, oh, this machinima is gonna actually hit me in the feels. Yes, it will, especially when they start fully animating episodes. But Red versus Blue season 1 full.
I don't think volume 10 of RWBY is going to happen.
Neither do I. Black, it ain't happening. I don't think
and probably
support.
for the better.
They have it right here on Rooster Teeth Animation.
Oh, on like their own site.
I'm glad you brought this up, because the last season I watched was 10. I didn't know they came out with more. So
watch 11, 12, and 13, and then stop at 13. It takes place 11 takes place right after 10.
Okay.
So everything with the director and stuff. But now the Reds and Blues are on their way back to the military so that they can explain everything that went down with Project Freelancer.
Okay.
And shit goes down on the way that they get there.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up in a civil war. Like a legit
Rooster Teeth has trigger warnings. For
Like,
what?
Everything's got to have a trigger warning now. People are
Yeah.
so damn sensitive.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah,
got to
well-
be safe. Everything's got to be. So, Roland, one question I wanted to ask you now that you're here.
Yeah.
We were talking about Star Wars earlier and like how they explained how Palpatine came back. That was through like some Fortnite event, right?
So there was one, to my knowledge, because I don't play Fortnite. That was when Build was still in the game. I have played it like twice since they got rid of Build because my friend was like begging me to play with him. I've never been a big fan of it. I will play it now, but no Build, because I remember the first time I got on that game, my friends were like, "Oh, it's easy to build. Don't worry." I'm like, tell me the controls. They're like, "Oh, it's easy."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then it's like first person I fight just goes like 50 stories up and just snipes me in the head. I'm like, I'm not playing this one.
Yeah,
That's
no, that's part of the reason why I dropped off in chapter 2. I actually dropped off in chapter 1, season 3, where
I
it's
dropped
like,
off in chapter 1.
yeah, I dropped off super early, so I have like all of like the original stuff up to season 3, and then I dropped off, came back in chapter 2 because I had a friend there, and then we stopped playing, so I stopped playing, and then I got back into it again. So
to my recollection, because I wasn't playing when they did that whole thing in 2019, Palpatine return shit. But to my recollection, what happened was there was a small cutscene when you log into the game for the event that shows that Palpatine's back, and it wasn't necessarily explaining how he was back. It just shows that he's back and spoiled the movie that he was going to be in. Just like, yeah, he's here now, and he's alive, and he's coming back. And
Well, then I was a bit mistaken.
and there's like, I believe there was these cloning vials that you could pick up on the map and places and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think they ever actually fully explained it, because it's not even fully explained in the book. It's not even fully explained in the movie. They literally explain it with somehow Palpatine returned. That's the dumbest line ever. Fade in. Somehow Palpatine returned. You've seen the fade in video, right? Of Kathleen Kennedy.
What?
I don't think so.
Wait, what?
But if this ever happened, trigger warnings on Berserk.
It'll happen.
I would start like we'll just leave it at that.
Oh, they'll
Leave it
do
at
it.
No, you do not get to ruin the greatest manga ever written like that.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, look up Kathleen Kennedy and fade in comes up immediately.
Kathleen Kennedy when fade in comes up?
No. Kathleen Kennedy fade in. I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna actually I'll skip through it, but I'm gonna share the video from As Heel versus Babyface.
Oh, you've got it?
Yeah, I got it here. He went over it really well, but I'm just gonna skip through it because we're not gonna watch the whole 11 minutes, obviously. But dude, this is something else. Like her. Oh look, it's an ad for StreamYards.
Gee, who'd have thunk?
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel versus Babyface. I got to get in on this one. I just got to. It's too good. Before I streamed tonight with Robert Meyer Burnett, we did our Hot Toys show. A video dropped yesterday, which came to my attention
last year,
just a couple of hours or so. Well, about 4 or so hours ago, and it was this Kathleen.
This was last year
video,
yeah.
And it's on the official Oscar people. You want complicit women that fall on the same political. And I saw on the video itself. This has just happened. Those are the type.
Right, maybe he doesn't show it. I'm gonna share the other one.
Okay.
I know I have the actual video. It's like, oh my god, dude! It's the stupidest thing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
hold on, let me find it.
Has Kathleen Kennedy ever really been known for great ideas?
Put a chick in it, make a gay lame. Put a fucking chick in it and make a gay lame.
I can chick in it, make a fucking gay. Fucking lame.
Yeah, well, the chef was just kind of concerned about the
I said, put a chick in it, make her gay and lame.
The best part of that whole entire thing is when he's like,
I seriously need to watch that because
he's
for
like,
whatever.
"Excuse me, I thought I told you to put a chick in my linguine and make her gay and lame." He's like, yeah, the cook was kind of confusing that. And he goes, what's so confusing? Put a chick in my linguine and make her gay and lame.
South Park joining the Panderverse, just so you know, Mando.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
what?
Bob
verse?
Iger's on, no, my dog versus where they go.
It's joining the what?
Joining the Panderverse.
All right, I have it. If you can stomach looking at Kathleen Kennedy
Yeah.
for a minute. This video is so stupid, dude.
Fade in. Lori Atkin. She was the first.
Fade in.
Honored with a Scientific and Technical Award in 1961 for her work at Technicolor. Lori was a scientist, artist,
So
Hold on,
and
hold on,
storyteller,
hold on, pause it,
a
pause it,
glass
pause it.
ceiling breaker.
This chick has like worse delivery than me when I do like unscripted stuff. Like it's so monotone and flat, I just gotta say.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
What's a chick?
Make a gay name!
Fade in.
Cut to 2021, and Lori's pioneering legacy has become an expanding story of women shattering what is possible in the science. Their story isn't ready to
Why
fade
is
out,
she talking
not
about
even close. Today, more than ever,
I think she
each and
just
every
faded out at
storyteller.
one point too. Oh, she doesn't. But it's like,
Fade in.
dude, like
She wasn't supposed to read that part, was
no,
she?
she wasn't. She was not supposed
She,
to read
she
this
pulled a
part.
Biden.
Like, she even smiled at it, bro. She was like, "Oh shit."
Faded. And they didn't cut it either. That's the funny part.
No, they
They
just,
left it.
just left.
Maybe the
You
chick
gotta-
who was
you gotta
gay and
clip
lame was
that.
the friends we made along the way.
You gotta clip that. And say that part, dude. It's faded. Just use it. Pretty good.
I cannot believe, like Grim said, they didn't even cut it out.
And they didn't even like, hold up, let's do a retake. It'll take like a minute and a half to just not say that line.
Yes, and she's literally reading the teleprompter. You can tell she's reading a teleprompter.
Let me be a chick who's gay and lame.
Oh, man.
All right, boys, I gotta answer a phone call. I'll be right back.
All
I
right.
might not have too much time because it's my friend's birthday, so I'm just seeing what's good. If he's
Oh.
ready for me to come over, I'll finish up our topic and then I'll head out.
Alrighty. Yeah, one of the it's one of the big things that I have a problem with when it comes to Star Wars now is that Disney has always been a girl brand, and I'm going to do a video on this in the future to get like into the specifics. They've kind of turned Star Wars and Marvel into girl brands, or at least have tried. And that has kind of alienated the previous audience that they had. And well, look how well it's gone for them.
Yeah, not well. Not well at all. Disney's been just ruining a lot of things. They haven't come out with other great like that typical Snow White, like the really good classic movies. Nothing
Mhm.
made in the last, I don't know, 10 years is going to last another 50 like a lot of the old ones did.
If we're talking specifically Disney, I think I agree. But if anything, if it does, it will live on in infamy as like a marker of why men and women should have different spaces when it comes to entertainment. And I actually saw a really good video out there, and the person who made the video would be someone I'd really like to talk to, at least live on stream. But there was a woman talking about like good, bad female characters in anime, talking about how like, well, you're judging female characters that are written for men because it's shoujo manga. Of course, they're not going to be like perfect representations. You go to shoujo manga like Sailor Moon, Usagi is a much better representation of a female character than what you'll find. Disney has kind of disregarded those lines now, and they've gone full like girl brand. They chase this myth that they can appeal to everyone everywhere all at the same time.
Can I make a point to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Same thing with Star Wars. Same thing with Marvel, as you just pointed out with Disney. Like, I just mentioned this on my show on Wednesday. Anime and manga primarily are in the same boat as comics and Star Wars, and not to the same extent with Lord of the Rings, but pretty close. Primarily a boys' brand.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
the most popular anime, yes, they're primarily boys' brands.
yes, that's what I'm saying. So that's what it was with like Berserk. You're not going to have every girl reading as like they're going to have more guys reading Berserk than girls are. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the same can be said for Batman comics or Spider-Man comics. That's why Mary Jane. We've all seen the cover where Mary Jane's like hourglass figure and smoking hot, and that's the cover with Spider-Man jumping out the window. Like that's not for like. Yes, there's girls out there that are like, I want to see good-looking women. I want to see hot women in my superhero shit or my Star Wars stuff. Like Mara Jade is literally Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. It's the same character, but she's more badass and she started out evil. But she literally is. If you took a picture of Mara Jade from the old books and a picture of Mary Jane from the old comics, one has a lightsaber and one doesn't. They look so similar.
And one thing to add to this is that yes, there are actually women who enjoy like shonen anime and action movies and stuff. But they enjoy those things because of what they are, not because they want them to appeal to women.
Yeah, see,
you can try to broaden that audience, but you have to understand that the more you try to appeal to everyone, the more you water down things and make it unappealing to everyone.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Which is why Barbie succeeded. It was targeted at women, created for women, and women primarily went to see it. It was a huge success because it was marketed to a demographic that was starved of content specifically for them.
And then look at the Marvels. Primarily men went to see the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, why are women not showing up to see the Marvels?
Okay.
It's terrible. Bad. No one wants to see like resting bitch face on 3 different people, except for what's her name? Iman Maslany, who plays Miss Marvel. She's cool shit.
I actually see a lot of people saying she's really good as an actor.
Well, dude, she's not a bad actress. It's what they're giving her to work with. And I haven't seen the movie because I'm not giving Disney any money right now at all.
Nope.
So I watched reviews from every other person, but they tried to get her, right? They tried to get her in an interview. Did you guys see this? Where they had Iman Maslany?
No, I don't think so. Oh, it's just the one they basically said I wanted to make something that I enjoyed, something along that line.
Kind of. So they were like, well, what do you think about the fact that it's the worst performing Marvel movie of all time? She goes, I don't really think about it. I had fun on the set. I'm glad that my family liked it. I'm glad that the people I care about liked it. She goes, I think the real problem ain't for me. It's for Bob Iger and his stocks. So I think she watched the Panderverse special. I think she really did. And she said this after that came out. And she was like, I'm not worried about it because I still had fun making the movie. I still got paid. I still enjoy the character. And she knows comics. She actually knows, like, she's a fan. She knows everything about these comics and all these different characters and disagrees with some of the ways that Disney has moved these characters. And she's like, yeah, like, I hung out with Brie and I hung out with, what's her name, who plays Monica Rambeau, and she's like, and we had a lot of fun together. But it's whatever. It's the same way that, Brie Larson was like, I don't know, does anybody even want me to come back as Captain Marvel?
No.
or when but it has like I think Brie has gone from one side to the other. I'm not saying politically, I'm saying mentally, like has gone she has now realized like yeah, everything that was done with this character, like I think especially one of the biggest points of that was at the Cannes Film Festival last year when she was cornered the same way that they just tried to corner Iman Vellani, that oh, well, Johnny Depp has a movie out. Are you going to see it? She goes, are you specifically asking me? Why would you specifically be asking just me and not the whole panel? They're like, oh, well, you were a big part of the Me Too movement. She goes, so? I like Johnny Depp. Yeah, I'll probably see his movie. He's innocent. And I'm like, based. I'm like, slightly based there. Good job, girl. You're learning to not let all these people do that shit to you.
I think, yeah,
it was great. What was the movie that just came out last year? Was it the Fast and Furious movie or a spinoff? Or there was some movie that came out where she was like a spy or something in it, and apparently everybody said she was great in it. Also, she's got to be based enough if she's doing nude magazines.
Didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, she did a whole nude photo shoot. So. Yeah, if you want to, just to anybody, the pictures are out there.
Yeah, sure.
Not my cup of tea.
Someone over at G&G would like that.
Yeah, just don't look at her feet. But like, I won't be looking much at her feet.
Oh, what about her feet though? Come on, feet are nice.
Her feet aren't.
I'm kidding. It's just some stupid.
She got Gollum feet.
All right, it's just the three of us now.
It's got to be just the two of you because I do have to leave in like a minute. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to touch on that for the sole reason that I think that a lot of these actors and actresses, they're getting sick of it just as much as we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was really based for Iman Vellani to say what she did.
I don't think it's that they're getting sick of it. I think it's that they're starting to realize that being this sort of like combative out there character who gets in everyone's faces isn't good for their career. I think that's when like that interview with Brie Larson where she's like, I don't know, does anyone want me back? I think that was kind of like her realization was like people didn't like her as a person, and realizing that probably changed how she behaved in front of everyone else.
Absolutely. And like her own cast for Endgame and shit did not like her as a person. And then you go into some of these other people, like Henry Cavill said the best thing. His quote about there is no toxic fans, there's passionate fans. These fans are passionate. They're not toxic. Because he's like, have you seen that clip?
I think so. Yeah, I agree with the point. Like, I completely agree. There's no such thing as toxic Well, there are some toxic fans, but the idea of toxic fandom is bullshit.
It's
toxic fans are the fringe crazies who do like the stalking of like mangaka and send death threats. Toxic fandom is not having an opinion on something. Being angry about something means you're passionate about it.
Exactly. And here, I got the clip right here. You want me to pull this up real fast? Of Henry Cavill puts it better than almost anybody I've ever seen. And this is remarkably true.
It's for the family.
Hey, yo, increasing my addiction to Speak a Game.
To what?
The Melon Game.
Oh.
With this character that I find fascinating. There's something really interesting with this character that I find fascinating, which is that he genuinely really does just want to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. But everywhere he goes, whether it's a new town or a new bar, people just kind of give him a hard time and they rag on him despite the fact that he has great intentions. I'm curious if that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie, like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played on Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
No, I've always loved Henry Cavill because even if he is like a total lefty, he doesn't show it, and I have mad respect for that.
Exactly.
Like he keeps his personal life very to himself, and he doesn't make it everyone else's business. And he's very passionate about the projects that he takes on. I have mad respect for Henry Cavill.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think he really is a lefty, man, because I think he's moderate because he was with Gina Carano, who is definitely not a lefty. And he was dating.
I think Henry Cavill is one of the few like true artists left in his industry.
I would agree with you.
For someone who prefers to chase after excellence rather than just making a point or being the next big talking head.
Well, not to mention the fact that we all know that with The Witcher, that was his dream role, not Superman. It was The Witcher, and he butted heads with the showrunner so many times because he's like, "You're not creating The Witcher, you're creating a story with Geralt in it. Like this is not The Witcher.
You're creating a Witcher flavored fanfic."
Yes, and they created a generic fantasy show with Geralt of Rivia in it. Like it had nothing to do with the Witcher story or anything like that. And his last straw, which he has said before, his last straw was the fact that you wanted Roach to die and have me not care about it. When the only creature on the planet that Geralt cares about until he meets Ciri and Yennefer is Roach. He don't give a shit about anybody else. He's just getting money, getting paid to kill monsters. But when his horse dies, that's why he names every single horse after that Roach, because he never wants to forget what his first horse did for him, and how his first horse was his best friend. And like they wanted him to just go, I'll get it.
They wanted to make a joke out of it, from what I understood.
That's what I.
They wanted to make it like, oh well, it's just a horse, kind of.
Yeah,
make a quippy joke about it, be silly about it. And Henry Cavill's like, no, this isn't the character at all.
Yeah, because it's literally, he has said so many times that is his favorite character in fiction. Geralt of Rivia.
He's probably as pissed about it as I am. Like when I see Batman, they're doing this new Batman Christmas movie, and they basically turn Bruce Wayne into this giant freaking oaf.
Did they really?
Yeah, look up Merry Little Batman. It looks awful.
No, I'm good.
What they did to Alfred Pennywise, what they did to Batman.
I'm good.
Pennyworth.
It's gonna be like the Teenage Mutant
Pennywise. Alfred Pennywise.
They're using like Damian Wayne as like Robin, whatever, and
but
they give him like this tiny little Batman suit, and he's got like gaps in his teeth and all that.
With Crimson, do they have a fat black Velma in it?
No.
Black Velma? What?
Clearly, don't worry about it, buddy.
You don't even want to worry about it, my friend.
Should I not?
Look, if you want to know more, go check out Disparu.
Just look at one trailer. No. Just look at one trailer.
Bro, I watched the trailer when they did the announcement, and I'm like, what is this?
My friend liked the show, Twinkie. I was like, I don't know if we could be friends anymore.
I was going to say, that is not a friend.
He's like, dude, it's kind of funny. I'm like, you're kind of retarded.
Maybe he got caught by that skinwalker that's in your area.
Yeah, real shit.
Wait, you got a skinwalker out there?
You should see my Halloween stream. Yeah.
Listen,
I do have to, unfortunately, I do have to run out, guys.
All right.
I work
coming on.
I work from 9 to 8 tomorrow, so it's gonna be a day.
I do got a question because it's the first time meeting. And you're a big Star Wars fan. Do you play the Star Wars Heroes of Galaxy game?
Galaxy of Heroes. I have it downloaded. I have not played it in forever. I haven't had the time, but I used to play it. in school all the time.
Yeah.
And-
Do you have any of the legends?
I probably do. I haven't logged into it. I just re-downloaded it over the past couple months and literally haven't even hopped on except to log in.
Yeah.
So I think I do. I think I got some of the event characters back in the day, but
Oh.
I
I
don't
started
know.
2 years ago, and I've just grinded. I finally got to the relic stage. My first one was the Death Trooper, and
It's
between
probably so much new stuff. Like I don't even think they had relic stage when I was playing it. Like I'm the noob now. Like you're ahead of me in Galaxy Heroes at this
not
point.
if you have those characters, those special edition ones. I've only been playing the last 2 years. I have only missed like 2 days of login. But
Okay.
Death Trooper and Mara Jade are nasty.
Well, they just added Mara recently. I knew that because
She
I
was
follow a couple people that do play it quite often, and they were saying about like certain characters. I remember I got back into it for a minute when they added Old Republic characters,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of dove off again because of whatever I was playing. I was probably playing Jedi Survivor or something like that instead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I do have it. I just haven't played it in God knows how long.
All right.
But I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it's definitely a money spender.
Oh no! Don't spend money. I've been doing it free. It's taken me 2 years to get into the relic realm.
Oh, I'd never spend money on it, but I know a lot of people say that like
It's like
money.
Clash. It's like Clash of Clans, where you can do it
Except
free.
like
but-
times 15. The prices on the stuff is ridiculous.
yeah, it's
$30 just to upgrade your character. Once, like one upgrade in gear.
Here I am wearing a Warframe hat, which is free to play, and then you can pay for all the other extra stuff.
I can't, dude. I probably spent almost $1,000 on that game. Probably.
I wish I had the old account because I spent a lot of money on that too.
I've bought a lot of
Yeah,
platinum in that
Warframe?
game. Yeah.
Yeah, I never got into Warframe really. I played it a couple times, but
Hey, I love Warframe. It's so like lore
it's
filled.
fun. I just
Let's
never,
let's not hold Roland here.
Yeah,
If you need
sorry,
to go,
Roland.
You should probably go now before we continue
it's
spiraling
okay,
out
guys.
of control.
I have no problem. My friend can wait a little bit, but yeah, right now like the game that I've spent probably the most money on is Halo. Like I love Halo. Halo is like when it comes to gaming, Halo is my Star Wars. So like my two favorite franchises are Star Wars. Well, movie wise, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, but then game wise, my favorite franchise that would compete with Star Wars would be Halo. But I separate them because they're not the same medium, you know. So yeah, like I absolutely love Halo. I've read all the books from Halo. I'm like that's my EU at this point because all of our EU is gone now for Star Wars. Even though I've read most of those books, they don't matter towards the story, but Halo's never said that. Halo's never done that, except for the piece of shit fucking show that they made.
What do you think about them revealing his face?
I hated it.
It
I
pissed
watched
me
the
off.
first episode, and as soon as they revealed his face, I did not watch anymore, and I watched everybody else's reviews because the biggest Halo creators on YouTube, who I've been following since 2010, like even they hated it. And the thing with that is you don't ever show Master Chief's face for a reason. The same way you never show Snake Eyes' face in G.I. Joe. But slightly different. So with Halo,
Or why you should have never shown the Mandalorian's face in the Mandalorian.
because you know why? With Halo, the original creators actually made a joke. If you beat Halo 1, Combat Evolved, on Legendary, you got to see Master Chief's face. But he just takes his helmet off and there's another helmet on under it.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the game. And,
Oh, man.
it's such a meme, but
Well-
the point is that that's why he barely talks in most of the games. You are Chief.
I was gonna
Anybody
say.
can be Master Chief.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most beautiful thing to me in a game. Like anyone can be Master Chief.
Yeah.
You just have Cortana doing most of the narration throughout the game.
Yep.
But Master Chief is supposed to be you.
Mhm.
He's supposed to be the player. Yes,
Mhm.
his name is John Sierra. Yes, he is a character, but you are him.
And just to say something I didn't get to say when I was in your chat on Wednesday, I think Daimyo was smoking something because Master Chief is easily one of the most iconic video game characters out there. And
Best
Halo
picture.
is
Yeah, no,
definitely
yeah,
one of the
I
most
have that.
influential games of all time. Like it kind of defined a lot of the competitive scene, the shooter scene, and gaming of its generation when it was like, the Xbox.
It was the first
360 era.
multiplayer experience that wasn't on PC.
Mhm.
I
Was
didn't
Halo.
actually know that, but
Yes.
pulling
Halo
Reach.
1 and Halo 2 were the first-person shooter multiplayer experiences that were not on PC. Because
Pulling
Call of
Reach,
Duty started on PC.
Pulling Reach out of the lineup. What's your favorite Halo game?
Well, I fucking love Reach, but
That's why I pull it out. It's a great one. It's a great one.
Two for three. It has to be three because 3 for the story plus the multiplayer and what the multiplayer did. Whereas like 2 was the innovation, but then 3 expanded on said innovation and had a great story. So like 2 was amazing. 2 has one of the best stories in gaming history, in my opinion. And it's so good. There's literally an Order 66 in 2 before Order 66 was a thing. Like, but for the elites, like it's so good. 2 is amazing. 2 has amazing gameplay. It was a really fun multiplayer. But then 3 was like the Revenge of the Sith of fucking.
Okay.
Like,
I've never heard
it's-
that comparison, but I like that. I agree with it.
Like 3 was the Revenge of the Sith of Halo. Like it was a war the whole time, beginning to end. Earth gets glassed at points, like in Africa. All of Africa gets freaking glassed. The floods show up. You have the elites working with the humans. The brutes are working with the prophets. The prophets are about to light all the rings and wipe out all life on fucking everywhere. Like, yeah, nah, Halo 3 was just spectacular. And that's why we didn't get another Halo game for another couple of years after that.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked about Halo, and it added to the lore so much. I mean, you have Sergeant Johnson in the first 3 games, and like Johnson in 3 is so good, and then like Johnson's just send me out with a bang is probably one of the most badass deaths in all of gaming. He lights the freaking Halo ring to kill everything. Like
Yeah.
that's badass, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and then you got the Warthog run at the end. That's iconic.
Okay, yeah. That's a lot of fun.
iconic.
The dropping tiles.
Yeah.
Oh.
It has to be Halo 3. Halo 3 it has the best maps, it has the best gameplay. I would think if you were to have Halo 3's campaign and storyline and everything with Reach's multiplayer, you'd be set for like the best thing.
Also with Reach's power-ups and
Power-ups and firefight.
yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
my
I've
favorite
always been dead set on 2.
Yeah,
number 1 was my first favorite game because it was the first game I ever played. I was only
me too.
like a
Halo
couple
was
years
the
old.
first game I ever played, man.
Dude, I'm loving this guy. This
Halo
is
is
awesome.
the first video game. Halo and Metal Gear Solid were the first games I ever played.
Never played Metal Gear.
Oh, Metal Gear.
We'll have to get both of you back on to talk strictly gaming at some point then. 'cause
Yeah,
that'd be
for
fun.
sure. Yeah, but I was playing Halo and MW2. Like, well,
Okay.
I grew up with Halo first, but then Modern Warfare came out when I was like a little bit older, and I was still playing Halo 2 at that point. So I was playing Halo 2 and Modern Warfare, and then Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3 at the same time, and that was just the best time of gaming, man. It was so much fun, and that gave you balls too. It gave you balls because you you'd be like some young kid, you'd hop in a game chat, and they would be like, you N-word, you F-word, you this, you that. Oh, your mom? Yeah, I banged her. And you're just like 10 years old, like, and then it's like, then you go into school wearing a Star Wars shirt, and people will be like, oh, you freaking nerd. And you're like, yeah, I'm just used to going home and getting called the N-word every day on Call of Duty. So
my first experience with the N-word was Call of Duty. I did too good in Black Ops 2, and I woke up the next morning and I had a message. It was literally just the N-word. And of course, I go down to all my family. I'm like, hey, what does mean? And they're like, no, don't say that. You can't say that.
We both on that.
I will say the reason why Halo 2 is my favorite, not only did I have the special edition, so I had the steel case, but it was a long time ago when my parents were together. There was my father and a bunch of his friends were over at the house, and I'm only like, let's see, I'd be like 6 or 7 years old.
LAN party?
It's LAN party, yes. And because of that, we kept having 1v1 like free for all and all of this, and we got to a point where I was just kicking ass and not dying that they set everybody up on one team and me on another, and I held out for a solid like 20 minutes. It's just grown ass men just crying because a 6-7-year-old like was just destroying them. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Halo had the best multiplayer back in the day. I will not ever deny that. Modern Warfare was my second favorite, and Black Ops, but
Assassin's Creed, though, even though I know I'm completely throwing us out of a loop of games.
Assassin's Creed 2, 3, and Black Flag.
Yeah.
Best
I only
Assassin's
ever played Black Flag. I had a grand time with it.
Black Flag is the best pirate game ever made.
Damn right.
Black Flag is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm cursing a lot on here. My bad.
Dude, I don't care. I was calling the
How
guy
dare
below
you
me a
fucking
retard.
swear, man? Come on.
Okay, then I want to hear how great you are, though. Elder Scrolls.
Skyrim. Oblivion.
Okay. So you
Morrowind.
love it. You love it.
I've played Skyrim since 2011, and I still play it to this day.
How many clocked hours?
Oh, I'd have to go on my Xbox to check. I have no idea. Days at least.
How many?
Probably days or years.
Yeah, pretty much, Cooper.
I was gonna say only days, dude. You've done nothing.
As soon like Skyrim is one of my favorite games ever. And as soon as they came out with Skyrim Special Edition and added the mod creation club, not even just the creation club, but the modders from the Nexus. Oh, dude. Because I don't play on PC, I'm playing on my console. Because I'm trying to get myself a good PC. So that the first game I'm going to get is Skyrim, so I can mod the hell out of it. Like, I used to watch, I don't know, the channel MXR Mods. He used to do Skyrim mods weekly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my boy. Like, I used to watch all his shit. I used to watch GameSpot do their Skyrim run throughs where there was the Khajiit. The Khajiit's name was Augie Balls. And it was so funny. Yes. I love Elder Scrolls. I have the map of Skyrim up there and Cyrodiil and all that stuff. And I've been a huge when
Wait, what was that?
So it's for sci-fi.
Oh,
Star Wars is my favorite movie for sci-fi.
Yep.
And then Halo is my favorite game for sci-fi. And then it's all right, fantasy. Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie franchise for fantasy. And then Elder Scrolls is my favorite gaming franchise for fantasy. So that's I love them all four of them equally. The world, I've read the Elder Scrolls books. There's not many of them, but they're damn good. The Floating City is a really good book.
I have not read.
Yeah, you should check them out. But I even play Elder Scrolls Online, because I just like being in the world of Elder Scrolls. Even though the game has gotten so much better than what it was, but I've been playing it since 2013, and I still love that game to this day.
Okay, so then I
I
want you to
can't even
take
make
me
fun.
through it because I have ESO, but I really haven't had anybody to play with.
I'll play
So
with you.
it got boring.
Yeah, I'll put no, it got a lot better. The problem is you do have to get the DLC. You do have to do stuff with that if you want the really good stories. I highly recommend when they do sales, but you can get the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood quest line for like $20 at a certain time of the year when they do their sale.
20
The Dark
combined or
Brotherhood
separate?
the combined. You can do a combine of like Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood. Both stories are sweet, but the Dark Brotherhood quest line is freaking sick, dude. There's actual like cinematics in the game where like you're
What are we
there,
talking
you're undercover, and someone drinks the wine that you just poisoned, and they fall off the balcony, and everybody starts freaking out. Like, dude, it's sick, and you get some really cool abilities. Like my one character is a vampire.
I'm sorry,
And my
what are
other
we talking
character
about?
is a werewolf. But the cool thing is, if you go to the werewolf shrine or the vampire shrine, people will show up just to get infected by you, and you can infect one person a week.
Oh.
But then once you get infected, you have to like wait for it to progress in your bloodstream. So like if you were to like wait at this one area, then I can be like, okay, you want to be a vampire on this character? Give me a second. Let me log into that character. I'll come over, bite your neck. You'll do the vampire quest line real quick. It's like a short quest. You'll do that. Then your character's a vampire from that point on. But you can get rid of Sanguine Vampires. So then when you go to the other side and you're like, oh, I want to be a werewolf, like, all right, let me make your other character a werewolf. So like you don't have to do all of the hard work that I had to freaking do at the beginning. I can just go and turn you into one, and you just have to do a simple quest, and then you'll get it as an ability that you can use. So there is debuffs and buffs, but I love the vampire because you literally get this ability. You can teleport through bats. You turn into like a swarm of bats, and you can teleport. And then you can also there's like something with blood where you just stick your hand out and you just are draining their life force like into you, and it heals you and drains their blood, and you can spam that shit if you have high magic.
So I'm thinking like a vampire tank. That would be like
You can do it. You can definitely do it. And then when you go into Cyrodiil, which is like the battle of around the capital city. So there's like this massive battle that's constantly going on. That's PvP.
Okay.
So you can go into PvP as your vampire, and once you get progressed far enough, you can literally become the vampire lord and just smack people like you are in Skyrim. But you can fly, and you can like shoot shit at people, like pick them up, throw them, like all this other stuff. But on every map, the highest level character who hasn't died randomly will just get Emperor. And they become the Emperor. And you have to... I'm not even joking. Like, they have light magic, and they're like...
God, Emperor of Man.
Yeah, they're just...
Okay, I'm going to become Thanos. Not Thanos. I'm forgetting his name.
Tiber Septim.
Tiber Septim.
Yeah. And they'll like it's really cool.
Are you talking about Talos?
There was this one kid
yeah.
back in the day in like 2014, and she was so like crazy at Elder Scrolls Online that she held the rank of Emperor in North America for like a couple months. Like she would be on almost 24/7, and this chick was just killing it with so many people.
Wow.
Yeah, well, guess what? The Mappa animators have her beat for how much they work.
Well,
all right.
I think we were trying to end it, but then I kind of
Yeah.
sidetracked into the Halo.
No,
we went on for another 40 minutes. No big deal.
Yeah, my bad. I
No,
do.
no.
It's fine. I was
no.
letting you guys run with it because you were enjoying the conversation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's my fault, but it was super dope to chill with you guys.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to
Obviously,
be on here.
glad
No,
I
like
could
I'm
be
saying, I
Rebels.
think we should do something that's just like strictly gaming, talking
Yeah.
about like all that stuff. So getting both you guys back on here to talk gaming, do a little bit more stuff.
Yeah, just fuck me too, huh?
Well, I can get you in here whenever I want.
Okay,
Well, just
hold
about.
up.
For Mando, I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop in my I don't know, I guess my Instagram or my Xbox and shit. You play PC, you play Microsoft.
I got PC. I got Microsoft. I got the Halo.
All right,
Only the new Halo.
Oh, I play Infinite all the time.
Okay.
Roller Xbox.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take this opportunity to slide on out of the chat.
All right.
Y'all enjoy yourself. Thanks for having me on, Krim. And Roland,
course.
it was an honor and a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too, my
My
friend.
my brother never shuts up about how much he wants to kiss you.
That's a lie. A lie.
Fake
I never said-
news.
I never said
Fake
anything
news.
about kissing him. I might have said something about sucking his dick, but
What? Okay.
it's a joke. It's a joke. You know the homoerotic humor comes out of me when Ian's around.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, you guys are totally baguettes. It's been a blast, boys. I will definitely talk to you soon.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
great to meet you. I'm totally forgetting which one my Microsoft account is, but it's probably like a Farmer Lane or the Mando.
That's whatever.
He's got like 4 or 5 Microsoft accounts because he keep forgetting his password.
I put it on private chat. Just hit me up on Rolo Films on Instagram or
Oh yeah.
I'm Rolo Lord on Twitter. Same thing. I'm pretty much Rolo Lord and Rolo Films everywhere. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you giving me some time and chilling out here.
I'll play some Battle
I'm
Bit
sure,
Remastered.
I'm sure I'll be talking to you in Discord later. And
yeah.
Mando and Space Twinkie, nice to meet you guys. It's
Yep,
been a
absolutely.
blast talking. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
Adios.
Hail chat, hail all you guys, and don't forget to drop a like on this stream.
Yes, absolutely do that.
Deuces
Like and
and happy holidays, boys.
Yep.
You too. All right.
Alrighty.
How many people were watching the live? I don't know where to see that.
I get a little notification. The most I ever saw was 3 at one time, which is okay considering I'm only at like 112 subscribers.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is what it is. And this was more so just to have the fun with it, have a bunch of people on, talk about some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get into like some big topic. In fact, having you guys on helped me out this week because it was kind of dry on the news side.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm more than happy to come on anytime you want me to.
Mhm.
I'm gonna see if I can get consistent Saturdays off.
I'm sorry, I was pretty dry. I don't remember the names to a lot of the anime.
It's fine. It's fine. Having you on as far as like the game and stuff goes at the end, that was nice.
I'm gonna pop off because I think Coops
All
is
right.
waiting for us on Fortnite.
All right. Well then, we're just gonna do a wrap on this.
Yeah.
So, thanks everyone for coming out and enjoying some time. Most of these people are my IRL friends who live in my area. Roland, you can go find him at his show, the Rolo Roamcast, over on RG Energy. And you can find me here on YouTube. And you'll probably find my Twitter in my video comments section if you really want to keep up with me. Other than that, I hope you have a great time until we see each other again on these live streams. And we're going to bail with my new intro. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. It means the world to me that you'd even give me a little bit of it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,